Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today we are just gonna kind of be chilling. But yeah, we'll be going over the new Mythic a little bit more, probably messing with the Fen teams. Of course doing the dungeonings. We'll do the dungeons in about, actually I didn't even double check this morning to see what the color is for the dungeons yet. But we'll be doing those, I'll wait about like 10 minutes or so. I'd like to wait a little bit after we actually start the stream, just in case anyone's getting here. Also, on a normal day, since we actually haven't had like a normal day, we would normally do the dungeons on the Guild War video, by the way. So essentially every Guild War video now that we do, when we don't have a stream prior, like if it was like, let's say a Tuesday, I would do the dungeon video after the Guild Wars. It's likely going to be the plan for them. Anyways, let's go and move this over, and in we go. Let me go say hello to everyone. We have a lot of peoples. Hello, Henny. Oh, do you want me to call you Henny or Zerdro? Hello, Zerdro. Hello, Fidaj. Hello, Pandemonium. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Camiluno. Hello, Camiluno. Hello, Maximuse. Hello, Strawn. Hello, Lowlight. Hello, Gokman. Hello, Ross. Hello, Ajax. Hello, JZG. Hello, Headless. Hello, a bunch of O's and A. Hello, Aurea. Welcome all. Welcome, welcome, and welcome, Bridget. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend so far. It is only Saturday. The week is young, or the weekend is young. Anyways, yeah, let's just go mess with stuff. We have been messing with, of course, the new legend. This is a freeze team, though, so let's not do that. I think I might go back to our guard's avatar for these kind of things. Just so we have a cleanse. I really need to be using Mercy against this kind of stuff, just to make sure we have a solid counter against it. Okay, I can still call you Henny then. Okay. Hello, Darth. Welcome. Hello, Ray. Welcome, welcome. Who wants poached eggs and bagels? Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Let's see, where do we throw our Hellcat? Put that right over there. Get a nice little cascade going. And I guess we alchemist the blue then. Unless we save the Mercy for something else. But yeah, we'll alchemist blue. We'll get that down. And whoa, that cascade right there. I'll take it. I'll take it. There's no extra turn, so we might as well just throw the Garuda then. I mean, Garuda. I'm gonna keep calling everything by the wrong name. We might as well just throw the, oh, what's it called? The guard's avatar. That's the word I'm looking for. They both started with a G. Close enough. Close enough. Okay, we'll go move that over. Go and throw down the Hellcat right there. And, oops, come on, I clicked it. There we go. And, then just team wipe them. Oh, a little bit off a team wipe, but close enough. One more little tap will be enough to finish that a little bit there. We don't have a Mercy, do we? Do we even have any alignment on this? I guess we have red. That's like the last color I'd want to hit it on, but all we need is one little poke. Oh yeah, wisps are beyond annoying right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they get nerfed next patch, mainly because of the AI changes that they made. Console still doesn't have wisps, so they didn't really get to gauge how ridiculously overpowered they are. But with the new AI system, they really do need to be cut back. Like before, they were okay, but under the new AI, they're just way too insane. Hello, Holog. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pretty disappointed with Soulforge. What's your opinion? I actually don't mind the Soulforge too much. We'll have to see exactly how many jewels and stuff we get from tasks. One thing I wish they would do, which I believe they deliberately didn't do initially, but disenchanting. I really, really wish they would give disenchanting a very, very small amount of shards. It doesn't even need to be a really large amount. Something like 1, 2, 5, 10, 25 or something. But they need to add shards to disenchanting. They can still keep the souls, but or lower the amount of souls, but make it shards instead. Or just completely get rid of souls from it and give shards instead. But yeah, disenchanting needs to give shards in some way, shape, or form. It can be like a ridiculously small amount, but it needs to give them. Other than that, yeah, it's mainly just like a waiting thing. There isn't really any way to go out of your way and farm them. That was one thing that a lot of people were mentioning, is even if it's a really slow rate, there really needs to be a alternative means other than dungeon to accumulate the new crafting resources, or else it's going to take forever for everyone to actually get them. which is the case right now. Because basically no one has enough to do anything at all. And we will get it in time. Of course, it's supposed to take time to be able to make stuff like Mythics and stuff, but as of this current moment, it's just like a gigantic amount of time to be able to do pretty much anything with the new format. But overall, as far as like what we can craft and stuff like that, I don't mind how they made all that. The Legend Mythic rotation, I wish they would add a little bit more on rotation, particularly on Legends. There's only 4 Legends on rotation every single week. There's something like, what, 80 Legends in the game? The rotation time for them is going to be so ridiculously high. For Mythics, it's not as bad because there's a lot less Mythics than there are Legends, yet both of them are on a 4 rotation, which is really odd. All Mythics will be on rotation about once every 6 weeks or so, whereas all Legends would be on rotation once every like 6 months. So they definitely need to think about changing that. Because at that point, you might as well just wait for the event week. At that point, you just throw event keys at it instead of crafting it, which kind of defeats the whole point of a crafting system in the first place. And, oh wait, why didn't I just Hellcat it? We could have gotten away with that too. Is the incoming kingdom magic attack, armor, or do I know? I do not actually know. I don't know if we even know what it will be. We'll find out when it happens. The next one for console is HP. Console's getting our Skea next Friday. And that's this kingdom over here. It's the Russian-based kingdom. You also get the Russian language with it as well. Actually, console, you guys should be getting your patch on September 5th. What day is that? That's on Tuesday. Tuesday, you guys should be getting your patch. Either Monday night or Tuesday. Somewhere around that general area. Console's getting their next patch. But yeah, this is the one that Urskea is getting. The little HP thing with, you know. The only thing that's really noteworthy there's 2 troops. Leshy, which entangles everything, including your entire team. And there's also the legend there. I forget his name, actually. King something? King Mikhail? Something like that. But he's also somewhat decent. There's alternatives to him that are kind of better, but as far as Enrage is concerned, he's one of the best Enrage troops currently in the game. It's just the problem is all Enrage troops are pretty lackluster right now. They might be a little bit stronger in the future once Skull Spam becomes a bit bigger, but of course, as I mentioned a lot, Skull Spam is not really that prevalent right now. It has been in the past. As this current moment, it's not really that needed for the most part. Okay, well, let's go throw down the Alchemist on blue. Get her a little bit of mana there. See if we can get herself a Hellcat somewheres. I'll move that. Oh, what? That is not the gem I meant to move. Why you do this to me, game? Well, at least we still have a board that we can maneuver as needed. So we'll go do that, get our mana. Double check to make sure that we don't have any extra turns sitting around. Let me actually just let the auto checker get it. Yep, there's none. And yeah, we'll just throw the I almost said Garuda again, Guard's Avatar. I might just have to stick back again with Guard's Avatar. I used to run this team a lot. Back when I used to call Guard's Avatar my favorite mythic. I think that might still be the case. Particularly since he's pretty good against the meta right now. A lot of people are running teams like this that use, like, it has a Scion, which is immune to silence, but it has like 1 or 2 Daemons behind it that aren't immune to silence. So you can just Guard's Avatar it for really good value. Anyways, let me go do the dungeon system. I think we'll throw down our standard KrissTiggers. I don't even know what today's color is. I forgot to check it before I started the stream. I'm hoping it's Gem Day. No, it is not. It is Brown Day. Today, I will not be buying the $5 thing. I don't believe I have any need for additional brown gems. I am going to always buy the 50 gem thing, though. That is always going to be worth it, particularly in these starting weeks when everyone has basically no jewels at all. Anyways, so let's go through all these battles then. So, let's see, what are each one of these? We have can use all mana colors, so that's just evolved Grugolfa. Gains more life and destroys more gems. And creates more gems and ignores skull damage. Just talk about anti-skull. Completely ignores skull damage. Interesting. Very interesting. Well then. Okay, well, let's go down the line. Fight. Go into our KrissTigger team. I don't believe we've lost a single time to one of these. That's kind of hard to this late in the game. Where did my Kraken team go? Oh yeah, it's the 4-time dragon one. This is the one I use for this. Did I see your question? No, I did not. It's a little bit hard to look at chat. There's like a blinding light over there. I don't know if you guys can see it on my face. There's like, you can see it if I change my glasses over. There's just like one gigantic light source over there. Let's see. And my eyes are still in that like morning state of not up yet. Let me see. What was your question? Move up, move up, move up, move up. And the community. You wonder of which platform everyone is playing. What about a little poll right there? Poll. Oh, poll. Oh, we could go check that real quick. I would need to straw poll it. Hello, Philip. Welcome. Hello, troll and all. Welcome as well. Does it matter how many chests at once you open? No. Well, yes and no. If you're just opening keys, it doesn't matter. If you're spending gems on an actual chest, like let's say you're buying gem chests or something, it makes it slightly cheaper. But as far as the drop rate, no, it doesn't matter if you open 1 or 50. If you, like, let's say you had 57 gem keys, and you open 50 and then you open 7. That's not going to make any difference at all with anything. But let's say you have 0 gem keys, but you're about to spend gems on them, then it matters how many you buy. Because the more you buy at once, the more of a discount you get. The most discount you can get is buying 50 at once, but it saves a little bit of gems buying them 50 at a time. But if you already have the keys, it doesn't save you any. So yeah, it doesn't. It also has no effect on the drop pool whatsoever. How many you open at once? Hello, SBM. Welcome. Is the upcoming kingdom? Oh, I already answered that. I didn't see the question you said earlier. What is the order of 2x Wisp, Kraken, and Giant Spider? 2x Wisp, Giant Spider, and Kraken is the order for it. So basically what you said, just with Giant Spider and Kraken switched. That's generally the order. There's a couple orders you can really do with it in team compositions. That's what I tend to go for, though, is personally, is the double Wisp, Giant Spider, Kraken. Okay. So what do we need to do here? We probably do need that purple, so we'll go for it. Mainly just because we need to get Dragon Soul rolling. I probably don't even need to be try-harding as much as I am right now. It's actually a relatively easy challenge. Except for maybe the last battle, but even that's towards the easier side as well. They definitely do need to do something to dungeons to give a little bit of hardness to late game players. Oh, hopefully we get 20 jewels today too. So far I have gotten the average that you should be getting, which is 20 jewels per day. I mean 20 diamonds per day. But there is that chance that we won't get it, though there's also a chance that we'll get even more than that. But hopefully we'll get it on at least one of these battles. Still no clue why they don't just have a static value for each day, but oh well. Oops, I should have taken red there. Or was that not there? I might have shifted it to become that way. So let's move that over. We're trying for blue up the top. We didn't get it. We'll just get rid of something on the board. Get a nice little poke. Almost kill the Great Maw. Dragon Soul into everything else. And then we're pretty much good to go from there. So let's see. This will throw down the Dragon Soul. Gorgolfa. And never mind. Don't even need a Gorgolfa. We can just Christine exit. I'll say we did it on red. And then we just need one more little poke after that. And never mind. That already is the poke we need. Come on, diamonds. No, don't you do this to me. Don't you dare give me 0 diamonds today. It would be the first day we get 0 diamonds off of the thing. Okay, and this guy has immune to skulls. Reduce damage from skulls by 100%. That's amazing. Could you imagine if that was his actual trait? You know, if he had that trait, he would actually not be horrible. I say Stonehammer is horrific. But if that was his actual trait, he would be really, really good. They would never do that to an actual troop, though. The implications of that would be way too overpowered. Under AI control, it's going to be horrifically bad, but, you know. Generally, that would just be insane. Okay. Well, we'll just go get our mana accumulated. Our skull, of course, does absolutely nothing. Which is unfortunate, but that is the whole premise of him, after all. Okay, well, we'll go and throw down the yellow right there. Get a nice little poke in. Get the Dragon Soul. Stop summoning. At least the summon is such a low level. It's actually kind of weird. They might need to fix that in the future. It came in as a epic instead of a mythic. Even though everything in this game mode is actually mythic. Or, you know, ascended to mythic. That's something they might need to fix in the future. First time I even noticed them summon something. And there we go. Let's match. Oh, that was pretty straightforward. Give us a diamond. Don't you dare hold off on that diamond. There we go. We got it. 20 every single day so far. which is average. It's exactly average, but at least it's not below average. Some people have been reporting getting 0 on some days. I think McCoy even said she got 0 2 times in a row, or he forgot. But yeah, it can happen. And as far as offers, I'm not buying the $5 thing today. As far as the $5 thing, I'm only going to be buying it probably 3 more times. 1 more on the next purple day, and 2 more on the next 2 diamond days. We still haven't gotten a diamond day yet, but 2 or 3 times I'll probably be buying it for those days just to speed it up. But I have no need for a additional brown, I don't think. So we'll just, of course, buy the 50 gem thing. That's really good value. So we'll buy that. And other than that, there's nothing else we really need to bother with there. So we'll just leave it as is. But yeah, how many diamonds does that bring us up to then? If we go under the Soul Forge. The mighty Soul Forge. That brings us up to 310 plus 56 if we wanted to. I'm pretty sure every single one of my shards is going into diamonds. I don't really foresee any other use for them other than that. Most of these other colors we won't really be needing. Let me just double check that we don't actually need the extra brown. I'm pretty sure we do not actually use them for anything whatsoever. Let's see, where would we need to go? Trade stones? No. Weapons? No, there's no weapons that end up using them, if I'm not mistaken. If we go and check every single one, there's... oh, no. Well, there's a stone sword, but that's not actually one we technically need. That's just one of them that... all the epic ones we won't really ever need to craft. But if we go over to things like this, that just takes red. That takes blue and purple. We already have it. That takes blue. That takes yellow. That takes all the colored parts of the other weapons. That's another one of the epic ones. Why are they so out of order right now? That we just need more purple for. This one we already have. So yeah, we don't really need brown for anything at all. The only thing we need brown for is... Wait, literally nothing? I think literally nothing, other than like the brown summoning stone or the weapon, but I don't need the other weapon. Seriously, is there nothing we need brown for? I think there's nothing. Well then, yeah, like, what do we need it for? There's nothing. The only thing we really need to do is do all the legendary weapons. And that's the only thing we actually need any of the color for. I don't really see anything else that we need it. So yeah, I guess we just hold on to them. There's no need to really do anything. Because the only thing we need are the standard weapon thingies. And we already have almost all of them, and none of them actually require brown. Interesting. Okay, well, there we go. We'll just leave it as is. I wasn't expecting that. I actually thought it was maybe used for something. I just didn't need as many. It's apparently just not really used at all at this current moment in time. Of course, in the future, it probably will be for something. Hello. What are shards? Oh, shards. There are 8 new resources, and they have a bunch of different names in the Soul Forge or from the dungeoning system and everything. There are these 8. These things all the way at the bottom are shards. Shards can be used... I'll be doing a video probably later today going over everything with this crafting system. But as far as just a general rundown, shards are those little fragment-like things. They can be used to craft any of the jewels in the game. So this new jewel can craft all the other jewels that are currently available. Though I'm pretty sure these are the only ones that are ever going to be available. But yeah, as you can see, these shards can be converted into any of the base 6 colors or into diamonds. I think the best value would be to always convert them into diamonds. I don't really foresee any other need to do anything other than that, so that's likely what I'll be doing. Not going to do it yet, just in case I feel like I need to do it for something else. There's no point in converting it now. Converting it now or converting it later won't really matter. So once we get close on diamonds, I'll probably convert them all over. But yeah, as far as using them, they mainly just need to be used for diamonds. And the other resources are called sapphires, emeralds, rubies, topazes, amethysts, and garnets. I'll cheat and look at it. And the big one up there are called diamonds. And diamonds are different from gems. Do keep that in mind. I know they look almost identical. Those are blue. This is white. That's the easiest way to identify them. But yeah, they are 2 completely different resources. Gems are used for almost everything in the game. Jewels, however, are used for 2 things mainly. And it's the main things that people want to do with the Soul Forge. And that is to craft legendary troops and to craft mythics. Both require these diamonds in order to, not diamonds, diamonds, never mind, that was right. They both require these diamonds in order to do that. So, and of course, the two best things to craft are just sitting here. Unfortunately, no one has the resources. Even with how many we have right now, 310, that isn't even half a legend yet, unfortunately. Plus, I'm not spending it for that. I'm personally going for this guy first, so we can show him for a video. Not a single person has this mythic yet. He's also the hardest mythic in the entire game to actually obtain. I believe there's an achievement on console for it as well, for actually getting him. It's going to take a while to get him, though. I think the quickest you can even do it is like 3 weeks. And generally, it's going to take quite a bit longer than 3 weeks as well. That's just like the quickest that you can possibly do it in. We'll have to see how many jewels we actually get from tasks, though. We currently don't know until Monday rolls around. Technically, it would be possible if there was a smaller guild that hasn't done their tasks yet. But most of these smaller guilds probably wouldn't give us the information or are really tracking the information. And every single upper guild that would want to know the information and everything have already done all of their tasks. So we currently don't really have data on the new task system. They were reworked. They were actually nerfed the task system by about, I think it was 20% or so. But diamonds are now within it as well. The main reason they nerfed it was because of 4x speed. And the reason they didn't nerf it the previous patch, even though we had 4x speed, was because mobile, of course, didn't have 4x speed yet. So that's why they just nerfed it now instead of earlier. Does it matter how many chests at once you... Oh, I already answered that. But if you didn't hear the answer earlier, the answer is no. It doesn't matter how many chests you open at once. Oh, wait, never mind. I think I might have scrolled up too much in chat. Wait, never mind. Where am I in chat right now? I think I went way too far up. If a guild makes players get level 5 sentinels, I'm actually going to be stopping that soon. Actually, I believe I'm stopping that this week. Let's see. But yeah, I believe I'm going to be making that not a requirement for now on, because they nerfed the amount of gems you get from guild tasks. And that was the only reason why I really had it earlier. That and we were used to do a lot higher on the leaderboard as well. But now that they nerfed the amount of gems you get per week, I am going to be lowering the mandatory requirement from all 5s to all 4. It's still encouraged, and if people want to do like all 5, they can. But it's not going to be mandatory at all for my guilds anymore, mainly due to the gem nerf. We still don't know the exact gem nerf, but we do know that there is a gem nerf. So, given that information, we're not going to be bothering with it anymore. We already have enough gem expenses, particularly with the 50 gems per day that we have to do now. That ends up being, how much is that? That's 350 gems per week extra that we have to be spending. So, not leveling them all to level 5 would give us an additional 200 gems. And the other we could easily just take out of just the tribute or whatever else we happen to be getting as far as gem drops are concerned. Where's my guard avatar team? There it is. The lovely guard's avatar works against pretty much everything. I do have to be worried a little bit because if we lose our guard, then we pretty much just die. Other than that, it's pretty solid, pretty consistent, and works out pretty nice. Too bad we don't have any alignment. That is unfortunate. Would figure. Well, I guess we just take some mana then. Sure, why not? There isn't really much else we can do there. Still no alignment? Doesn't look like it. We could go take another yellow, I guess. Maybe try for alignment there. Perfect, perfect. I'll take it. Thank you for that. We'll go take that. What else do we need? We need a Hellcat right there. And that gives us a guard avatar if it's clear, and it does look clear. Okay, and then we can just throw the thing right down there. Oops, I thought that was... Oh, it is extra turn. For a second, I thought it wasn't extra turn. Fail. But luckily it is. Got it right the first time. And not enough damage yet. We'll just go move that over. And what else do we need to go do? Guess we'll throw that down. Let everything else sit. Throw the guard. And down goes the team. How do we tell when a mythic is available and crafting? You have to have level 10 in the Soul Forge to be able to see if it's craftable. You won't be able to craft it or see if they're craftable if you don't have level 10 Soul Forge. But to check that, you would have to go under your minigame Soul Forge and just double check the troops. Well, check to see if you're level 10, but also check your troops and then just go all the way to the bottom. And I believe this changes every week. I actually don't know for sure exactly when it changes. I assume reset day every week is when it goes on rotation. And that's when you'll be able to see what is available. Really wish they would increase the amount of legends available to like 8 or 10. Keeping the mythics at only 4 per week is perfectly fine. But there's a lot more legends, and we're barely going to see rotations of them if they only do 4 at a time. But yeah, that's how you see them. You just go under that little menu, and then you can see them all from there. Hello, Stefan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You were wondering if you knew the drop rates from Mythics in the different chests. I forget the exact percents, but you could break it down from these values. The approximate amount of each that you would have to open is 5,000 glory keys, 1,000 gem keys, or 100 VIP chests. Sorry. Oops. 5,000 glory keys, 500 gem keys, or 100 VIP chests. Any of those 5, or a combination of such in their respective ratios, would most usually gain you a mythic. Of course, it's no guarantee. There's never any guarantee that you would get it. But generally, those values of 5,000 glory, 500 gem, or 100 VIP normally would guarantee you a mythic. That's about what the drop rates are. Every single one of those is slightly above a 100% if you take all of their individual percents. Of course, if you get unlucky, there's still that slight chance. I think with every value I just said, I think there's only about a 10 or 20% chance that if you open that many, you will not get a mythic. It's relatively low that you wouldn't, but generally opening that many would pretty much give you a mythic every time. Unless you're just getting really unlucky. We'll go move that over. Throw the guard avatar. And we got the alchemist. Where do we throw it though? Do we even have anywhere to throw it? That is the other issue. Doesn't appear to be, unless we want to do it on red, which obviously is the last resort that we'd ever want to go to. So we'll just take the skull there, get the scion out the way. And ideally I don't want to get rid of the Mercy's color, but it's the only thing available. So we'll go for it, get our little poke. Don't have to deal with famine since he's silenced, really nice. One less thing to have to deal with, always good. Particularly a famine, not having to deal with that is very, very nice. And there we go. Yeah, I might have to stick with the guard team. It's a team that I kind of put on the bench for a little while, but it seems to be pretty decent now with how the new AI works and everything. Not to mention a lot of people do like to run like those all Daemon teams and stuff, which of course he can counter out pretty well. Or maybe not all Daemons, but yeah, Wisps, Daemon, Drain are like the 2 biggest things right now. Or just really Drain spam in general. A lot of people happen to use Famine, which is why I call it Daemon Drain. It's half Daemon. Only one of them we can actually silence though, which is the Famine. I really wish that thing didn't have immune to silence. Generally, immune to silence has absolutely no effect, but the fact that Scion has it, it's actually pretty decent because it makes it able to work against Guard's avatar easily, which is annoying because that means Guard's avatar doesn't counter it as hard as it normally would. Going to be a little bit harder of a battle, mainly because you just have a Spirit Fox, and that does disable us a little bit. Shouldn't be too big a deal, but you know, it disables us slightly more than how it normally would go. Well, there's that little skull there. What else do we move? I guess we just take red to brown. If nothing else, we can alchemist. Oh, he's gonna get a drain. Oh, come on. Really? Okay, well, at least he took the final turn to waste his turn. So we'll go take it on brown right here. Get ourselves a Hellcat. Hopefully have alignment on this as well. Do we have alignment? Well, we have it on yellow. That's not really a color I want to do it on. We'll just go take that, take that. Purple we don't have. Oh yeah, we do. Never mind. Let's do it on purple then. We'll throw that down. Get ourselves an alchemist on green. It looks like we should be good to go from here. And then we can just throw the Hellcats on blue? Yeah, blue. Wait, do we do it yet? Yeah, we kind of have to. We'll throw it on blue. Let everything else fall. And then we can discard the avatar if it would ever stop giving us extra turns. Oops, wrong direction. Good thing that wasn't actually a move. And then we just throw Guard's avatar. That's pretty much a match. Okay. Alchemist, where are you? Oh, let's just do the Hellcat. Wait, do we have neither? Hold up a second. What is this madness? Do we really have neither right now? No, we have Hellcat right there on brown. There we go. Missing all the obvious moves. Well, I didn't miss it, I just didn't see it immediately. Okay, Alchemist, where are you? Oh, you know what? Let's just do it on purple. It's not directly an extra turn, but it cascades directly into an extra turn. We'll just throw it out on the Hellcat and guard it for the kill. And there we go. Down it goes. Down for the count. Okay. Oh, that worked out decently. Yeah, I'm starting to get a new likeness for this team. It was one that I've always really liked, but it just seems a lot better these days than it has been in the past. Not that it was really bad in the past, it just based on what's being used now, it works pretty decent. Unfortunately, we cannot actually silence him. He's only undead, not a daemon. Also, thank you, Volk, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. But yeah, if you guys want me to go over anything, just let me know. We will be messing around with the defend a little bit later. Not quite sure exactly what I extensively want to test with it. The main thing I really just want to see is how skull interaction works at different levels of the new defend system. It's something I'll be messing around with a lot more in the future. I did want to mess around with it a little bit, but I won't be doing extensive testing on it yet. I'm mainly going to see if they're going to be tweaking it any in the future. And if not, I just want to mainly wait till everyone actually starts using custom AI, because the new patch is still new enough that a lot of people probably haven't bothered switching their AI. Not to mention there's also a glitch right now, I believe they have not fixed, where your custom AI only saves if you click test team. If you don't click test team, it doesn't save your custom AI, and not everyone might not know to have to do that to save it. So a lot of people could be possibly setting their custom AI, but then actually not setting it, which is a bit annoying. Also, one thing to note about custom AI, which is intended, it only works in Defense. It does not work in Guild Wars. I assume Guild Wars uses the standard kind of even on everything setting. I'm not fully certain on that. I'd assume so. I don't know what else they would have it on. We'll go move that over. Hellcat, we kind of have. We can do it on yellow, which obviously we don't really want to do, but we will if we have to. Never mind. Oh, that's already enough damage. I didn't think that would be. Oh, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Okay. Another one bites dust. And we're almost at 10,000, except I'm pretty sure the leaderboard is way higher than normal. Let's see, 20,000? Let's see. It's a Saturday morning and is at 20,000. That means about 23, 24, or 25 by the end of the Monday reset. So, wow, it's actually going higher than normal. Hey, JZG, you're on there. Nice. Well, let's go take our mail. What do we have? Souls! I'll take it. All the souls. It's barely even any souls. Here's your little pile of no souls. But every little soul counts. We need them for Soul Forge, of course, for various things. We need 1 million souls for the thing. We'll need to get we'll need a small loan of 1 million souls joke somewhere's in there. But yeah, it is quite expensive. It actually takes upwards of 30 hours, even with the best soul farming method, to get every single component you need, which is a very, very, very long amount of time. It's not really that worth getting it. We will be doing it eventually, just not my first priority, obviously, because it's really expensive. Really, really, really expensive. Let's see. It's the only mythic weapon in the entire game, though, which is one of the reasons why it's probably towards the more expensive side. Alright, well, we'll go throw that down on Browns. Get ourselves a nice Hellcat in there. Put that over. Oh no, that was supposed to be an extra turn. I swiped it in a way that didn't work. That's the only thing I kind of hate about this new patch, too. Or not this particular patch, but what they did, not this patch, but the patch prior to this patch when they switched over to Unity. I don't know if anyone on mobile is noticing at all the change. It might not actually affect mobile as much because you're doing your finger, so it's a little bit easier to control, like the exact swipe than compared to a mouse. But it's a lot more sensitive, like the way that you move a gem. If you even move it like slightly in an angle, like diagonally, it's going to want to go in the wrong direction than what you're trying to do it in. Happens very, very... It doesn't happen that often, but it's really annoying when it does happen. Oops, I'm scrolling through chat and it's not moving. There we go. Let's see. You believe the drop fixed colored ultra rare or better troops? Wait, you believe they drop fixed colored ultra rare or better? Oh, are you talking about the little summoning stones? Yeah, that's what they do. They summon a random... They're basically a gem key for a specific color is what the summoning stones do. So let's say you open a blue summoning stone, it will give you a random blue troop of ultra rare or higher. Which is one of the reasons why on the forum I asked if they could make the dungeon the same color as the Guild War Day. Because if they were to do that, it would make it so... it would make it so you'd be able to simultaneously obtain color troops for the Guild War Day from the dungeoning system, which would be kind of cool. It wouldn't really be that relevant, but for newer players it could be somewhat helpful. And it would make sense if you have two different things, two different aspects of the game that run different color days. You might as well align both of them and make the same day a specific color. Because right now the dungeon system is generally, unless it randomly happens to be the same, will be the different color than what the Guild War Day is, which doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. Well, where do we throw the alchemist? I guess we'll just put it on a blue then. I'll hopefully open up a Hellcat, and it does. It gives us a green Hellcat. I probably didn't even need to cast that right there, actually. But we'll go move that over. Anything else we need to go bother with? Probably take some browns. Anything else? Anything else? Nope, we'll just throw guard into like a mercy or something. Then we'll be good to go from there. What else we need to do? Mercy? Yeah, mercy. Mercy into guard. Or mercy into Hellcat into guard. Or skull, that works too. There we go. Did they dumb down the AI? No, they didn't dumb down the AI, but they did change the AI. It has been skipping extra turn matches for you since the patch. It does it occasionally. The thing is, it didn't really get dumbed down. It just likes to do more cast-oriented cast rather than taking stuff off the board. Like, it doesn't like to take skulls as much and stuff like that. It won't get skull distracted as easily as it used to be able to. But yeah, it's more of a cast-oriented kind of AI compared to what it was before. That's the main kind of aspect you really need to worry about. It makes some teams weaker. Like if they have a cast that just ends their turn automatically with no board control. But it's actually stronger on most troops. If teams are built with extra turns and abilities that have any kind of board manipulation, it will actually make them stronger, not weaker. But in some instances, yeah, if they're running a bunch of troops that have no board control whatsoever, they will technically be weaker than what they were before. But for the most part, battles and everything will be stronger, not easier. Only a very select few things will actually be easier to kill. And I guess earlier on in the game, you'll probably see a lot more of the kind of easier stuff. But most things should actually be harder, not easier, due to the new AI. Not by much, but if you're used to the previous format, it's going to be quite noticeable, the difference with everything. They don't like taking extra turns as much, but they like to cast. This, on a normal team, wouldn't really do much. But if you're doing it in the context of something like a, let's say what am I thinking of? Like a loop team of any kind. Like let's say a Yarrow or Dragon Soul or any of the standard loops. A Forest Troll into a let's say a Kraken. Stuff like that would be pretty decent right now. But let's say if you were up against like a Corvash with something else that like ends its turn immediately when it casts, those things are going to be a little bit weaker than what they were before. Can I do a guard team? He showed you. Which one? Can you do the guard team? Which one was that? I didn't really care for that one as much. It wasn't bad by any means. It's just not really my preference of how I like to play the team personally. I'll go move that over and just kill it out. Oh, wait, he revived. Fail. It's like, wait, we're over. Nope, it's not over. It's never over. Okay, well, we'll go and just poke him then. Do we have a Hellcat alignment anywhere? Not that I see. We'll just go move that. Well, other than on the yellow, but obviously, again, we don't want to do it on yellow. And there we go, down it goes. What was it? I think it was some kind of Forest Troll thing. The main thing I hate about it is the green seer in it. The green seer in the order. I don't know, it's something about it just really throws me off. Because I'm so used to doing the double convert and it doesn't have a double convert. It does have two things that convert, but it doesn't have a double convert loop. And so loop is off of a convert into a double, which off of a different color, which is something that is a lot different than what I normally use for teams. Let's see. Hello, Derek. Welcome. How were you able to see which troops you can craft in Soulforge? You can't see any in yours. Oh, you have to level up your Soulforge. Don't bother power leveling it with gems because it's a complete waste of resources. But as you get the Soulforge leveled, at level 9 you can see all the legends, and at level 10 you can see all the mythics. But you have to get it to level 9 and 10 before you can start to see the later craftable stuff. Don't worry about getting to it too quickly though, because no one has the resources, even to this day. Not a single person has the resources to even craft a legend yet. So still take your time, no need to rush it up. Just get it as you get it by getting kills. If you want to power level kills, that's fine, just don't bother wasting your gems. It is a complete waste of gems to level up your Soulforge. I'll go move that over. Throw down that, it should be enough damage, good thing it is. Yeah, level 9 shows the legends, level 10 shows the mythics, and then once you get it to level 10, it stays level 10 permanently forever. It's not something that you have to level up every single week. Once you get it leveled, it's leveled forever. Do you have to be on PC to enter the redeem code, or can you enter it from your phone? No, you can enter it from your phone. You should be able to. Might be a little bit harder to type it all in if you don't have a copy-paste option that you can easily access. But yeah, you can do it via phone, I assume. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Let's see. Well, that was pretty bad what just happened. Go try getting Alchemist up. We didn't get the Surge. Even if we did, we actually wouldn't have had enough mana. We'll just take the Brown right here. Not really too worried about that getting drained. No! I am worried about both of them getting drained, though. Why? Why? Okay, well, let's go get rid of Blue. See if that gives us any openings for anything. Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait, never mind. We got a Hellcat. Didn't see that. So we'll throw that down. That'll give us that. Or throw that down on green. Get that down. Throw this down as the Hellcat on brown. Get ourselves another Alchemist. Can we get another Alchemist anywhere in here? Yes, we can. We can do it right on that purple. And now we will go and cast. As soon as we take that, now we can cast. Double check for anything else real quick. Looks good. Don't think there's anything else we need to bother with. So we'll just go for the guard avatar then. Let's see. Yeah, we could just go for the guard. He'll just get skull distracted. AI still gets skull distracted. The only time it doesn't really get skull distracted now is if they have full mana on one of their troops. It's less likely that they'll get skull distracted. It's still possible when they have full mana. It's just a lot less likely. Oh, he lived. I thought that would be enough to kill. Luckily, he does not have a mana drain. So let's do that, and down he goes. $4,000 diamonds or whatever is going to take forever. Yeah, we don't know how many we get from guild tasks, though. For all we know, we could get a lot from guild tasks. I'm not quite sure. We'll find out on Monday how many we get. I'm going to deliberately not open up any of my tasks on Monday, and we'll show it for a video. I'll probably do a video on Monday, kind of going over I might record the. Or you know what? Never mind. I might just do a separate small video, kind of going over the fact that guild tasks did get changed. Because for any of you that don't know, the guild tasks did get nerfed. It was a very small nerf, or we assume it's a very small nerf. We'll find out on Monday specifically what was changed. But yeah, I will do a little video on that just to see like what change it has. I'll try to get some information too, because I'm pretty sure people will be compiling it. So I'll make sure to report on whatever info we will end up getting from that. I'll go and move that over. Go throw down that. Get that red up. And we'll just throw down the guard right there. Yeah, I'll do a video going over all the tasks and everything. I hopefully will get the data on it pretty quickly. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be paying very close attention to it. Because it's one of the really big controversies of this patch. There's a few of them. That's probably one of the biggest ones, is the fact that they nerfed all the guild tasks. They did add diamonds, though, so in a way they kind of didn't nerf it, because diamonds are pretty valuable right now, and just in general as well. But we'll see. Well, we can't really judge it until it actually comes. All we know is that they nerfed it by, I think, like 25% or something. I forget the exact number they said, but some amount of or like some amount of percent within the 20ish range. Hey, triple victory! Wow. Well, I think my thing is doing correctly. I think my custom AI is going well. I should probably test a different team though soon. Because all I've been doing is messing with the current one I have. I haven't really been messing with any of the other ones that we have. I probably will do that a little bit later. I would have to fight myself though to really get a lot of data on it. You know what? Let's actually go test that right now. I'm really curious about something. I'm gonna test my defense down, or my things down a little bit. Let me put that down, let me put that down. I'm really curious. If it has mana on something, will it always want to cast or take the skull still? I want to test this real quick. I need him to get full mana and then have a skull option. I need to see if he will indeed take a skull or if he will cast instead. I'm kind of curious. That's the main thing I want to see right now. So what I need to do is deliberately give it mana. So let me go get Mercy mana so that a single skull will end up getting it drained. There we go, perfect. And now we can just let it get red. Though I do need to make sure I simultaneously give it a skull distract. It's gonna be a little hard. Okay, please take blue already. Take your blue so we can go. There we go. Okay, so now I need to somehow give him a skull distract. You know what? I probably should have used a skull spammer here just so we could do it a bit easier. But you know what we could do? We can use Alchemist Hellcat loop into baiting out a skull eventually. So we'll just keep manipulating the board until we deliberately give him a skull. And then let's see, will he cast? Or will he take the skull? Oh no, we reached the end of the line. No, we didn't. We can do that. There we go. Okay. So we'll move that. And now here's the verdict. What does he do? If I can end my turn somehow. There we go. So what does he do? Does he go for the skull or does he cast? Oops, let me move that over. Does he go for the skull or does he cast? My bet is on he casts though. Nope. Okay. So if you set your gem priority or your skull priority to the max, it will prioritize the skull apparently. Let's try it again in another trial. It could just be that he wanted to go for the skull that time, but it might not do it every time. So let's go and let's see. We'll go and move the yellow over. So we'll go for a skull again. Yes, it will. We'll do it again. Let's try it a third time. Will he go for the skull? Oops. Well, there's still one there. Will he go for the skull again? Yes, he will. Okay, I think it's safe to say if you put your skull priority on the highest, it's basically like what the AI was before, where it always takes the skull every single time. So, if you don't want your AI taking the skull literally every single time and get baited, definitely make sure it's not the highest priority. So let's go test this again, but test it with what I had it on as my normal defend rate. So, skull preference down a bit, take up the brown, take up the red, and do it that way. So now let's see if there's a brown or a red, if he will take the mana, or if he'll take the skull, or if he'll cast. My verdict now is almost like the cast, if there's a skull in the way. So let's just see. We'll go and, well, we don't really have a good mercy right now. So we'll just wait it out. Now we'll go for it, because why not? Nice, nice. Oh, we didn't get an extra turn and all that mess, though. He does get a little bit of a drain on us. We'll go through that down. Hellcat, we can go through that on blue. Okay, yep, we'll just keep looping. I have no intention to actually win this battle. I'm just trying to test the AI right now. So move that over. Move that down. Okay, there's a skull. He does have a cast. So what will he take? Will he take the red? Will he take the skull? Or will he cast? Also, he's on a brown red right now with full mana, so that's actually perfect to see exactly what he'll do. So let's just see. Which one will he do? Will he cast or will he take skull? My bet is on he will cast. Nope, okay. He takes the skull. Let's go get another trial. There's another skull. So let's go let him get that one. That time he went for mana. Interesting. Interesting. That time it wasn't a cast, though our mana is higher priority. Too bad there isn't a 8th priority to set cast on higher priority instead of taking gems. That's kind of interesting. So he didn't go for the skull that time because it's not on the highest priority. He went for, I think it was a brown or a red. I would assume it's a brown or a red because that's his highest priority to go for those. So let's test it one more time. Here will be the 3rd time. Will he take a mana, will he cast, or will he take the skull? He takes the skull that time. So 2 times he takes the skull, 1 time he takes the brown red. I think it might be randomized based on how much you put it up or down. Might be the thing. Because I have brown and red really high, but I also have skulls towards the 3rd kind of area. It's like 3/4 up. So it might just be a random roll based on where you positioned it, is what it appears to be. Anyways, okay. So, yeah, the more you know. We'll be testing that more in the future. Just, it's a little bit hard to really get good data out of it as of currently, because a lot of people aren't really running their custom AIs yet. But, yep, there we go. A little bit more info. Not too much, but we'll be expanding on that a lot more in the future. That's not one of my main priorities to really try figuring out as of this current moment in time. Mainly the dungeoning stuff and all that's our main focus. Also, I will be covering that video either later today or early tomorrow. Of course, I've been meaning to do that for like a day or two now. It's just with all the other content we've been happening and with the new Mythic yesterday, haven't really had the time to go and cover it. But we will be going over that first because it's probably the most important thing to go on over, because it's really easy to waste your resources on the dungeoning system. I mean, on the crafting system. So I do want to clarify like what's actually worth it and stuff. We have already mentioned it a billion times already, but of course I want to do it as a video for everyone who hasn't been around when I actually do mention it within the stream. I'll go throw down the guard. Kick them and tell them to come back when they have a proper name. Let's see. You posted on the forum someone joined your guild with level 1 and someone has no name. Really? That's interesting. How does that even happen? There was a really funny glitch on the beta. On the beta that we got to test a little while back, there was a glitch where what basically happened was there was this like one person that had like a glitched account that was like in the tutorial, and because they were like glitched in the tutorial, it had it basically just made the battle some kind of ridiculously weird screenshot of a single troop, where that single troop, the whole entire thing was just frozen, the game. It was just one troop with every status effect in the game with like, it looked really weird. It looked like super strange. I still have that screenshot somewhere, but it's probably the funniest thing that happened while I was testing the beta the previous time. I didn't actually get to do much with this current beta, mainly because they didn't actually need us to test anything. I wish they would have, because we would have been able to hopefully convince them to have made some of the changes with the current format, of course. That was something I did mention, like, even as soon as I saw it, was that dungeons were going to be way too easy for late game. And, of course, yep, that's exactly what it turned out to be. But yeah, they didn't really ask for beta input this time around. I wish they would have, because the crafting system definitely could have needed it here and there. One thing I didn't mention, though, it was mainly because I didn't really notice it, or get to test it because I couldn't on my account that had almost nothing, was those random jewels. I really wish and hope that in the future they make it a static amount of jewels per win. Right now there's a random chance that you'll get jewels, and while I have been lucky enough to get the average, which is 20 per day, a lot of people aren't getting the average of 20 per day. Well, where do we go? We'll go through it on blues. How do you craft common and rares? I wish there was a way. I did tell the devs when the patch went live, is like, wait, why do you not have commons and rares craftable? And they did say they are looking into expanding the crafting system in the future. Really, you can almost consider the current crafting system as the beta version of their crafting system. They are going to be expanding on it quite a bit in the future. But yeah, they did say that they are looking into adding something for it in the future. As of this current moment in time, there is no direct way to craft commons or rares, which is quite unfortunate because both of those are, as odd as it may seem, both of those are pretty good value to craft. That might seem really odd, but the reason for this is because you need them to 5-star kingdoms when they first come out. It is ridiculously... Why is scrolling so sensitive right now. It's weird when it does that. But anyways, it's so ridiculously hard to get the commons for a given kingdom. The rares are a little bit easier, but trying to get every single common so that you can get a 5-star on something like Arskea or something like that is extremely difficult. Merlantis is going to be the next one that's going to be like that. You basically have to max out every single one of the 8 troops that come out. You have to get every single trait, you have to get every single level, you have to get every single bit of ascension on them in order to get the extra bonus from the kingdom immediately. Of course, you could just wait a couple months until the event actually rolls around, but if you want to get that bonus stat as soon as the new kingdom comes out, you have to throw a lot of resources on it. Many late game players have these amount of resources, but only the late game players really do. If they added a way for you to craft them, it would allow people who aren't all the way with like billions of resources to have a chance of also doing it a little bit easier. Because right now, I think it requires like 20,000 to 30,000 or something gold keys, maybe even more than that. I don't even know off the top of my head the exact value that would take. But and it keeps taking even more and more because more commons get added to the game and stuff. But it is ridiculously hard to try to get a common to Mythic. It just takes so many resources. Unless you're deliberately saving everything for that purpose, it just takes forever. Which I have been doing. It's why I have a stack of over 10,000 gold keys. But that's not even going to be enough. That plus like a couple million gold wouldn't even be enough. Let's see. I'll probably grind out quite a bit the week that Merlantis comes out, just so we can farm a bit more gold for it. Because it is something we're going to be needing. I'm not quite sure what the stat bonus is. If it's something like armor, I might just completely ignore it. If it's something like magic or attack, I'm definitely not going to ignore it. HP is questionable if I will or will not ignore it. HP is nice because 1 HP could be the difference between dying and not dying. But it's not as big as something like a +1 magic. +1 magic is the biggest you could ever make any kingdom. It's almost mandatory to kind of go and max those whenever they happen. If you happen to be able to even remotely afford them, because they're just such ridiculously good value getting 1 additional magic. Okay, we'll go throw down the guard, and down it goes. It would be nice if we could craft trait stones from troop list, and to be able to trait troops with a single click with crafting instead of converting multiple types of trait stones. Yeah, that would be kind of helpful. I really do wish they would rescale the crafting a little bit. Like, I understand some of the costs, and they kind of make sense. Some of them just seem way too expensive, though, to really be viable beyond just a few. I think they kind of wanted to be that way, though. They didn't want to, like, overshadow every other mean of obtaining trait stones. But the way they did it makes it almost impossible to actually trait some things. Like, for example, crafting minor trait stones, I feel like this is actually fine. 2 major trait stones plus 50 souls. I'm actually not against that at all. That's it's not like cheap, but it's worth it. It's actually worth it. If I had this when I was still trying to trade everything, I wouldn't hesitate a moment to go and start using this. For some newer players, this could be a little bit expensive, but the amount of major trait stones you actually use relative to everything else is pretty small. So this isn't really that big a deal. As far as crafting major trait stones, this is literally never going to be ever needed. This is pretty much dead content immediately, mainly because you're going to need more minor trait stones than you ever will need major trait stones. So there's never any point in actually crafting those. As far as the runics are okay value, because again, they use those major trait stones. Major are in the biggest excess in the game. It doesn't matter how many you really accumulate or by what mean you're accumulating them. You'll always have more major trait stones spare relative to every other trait stone. Not in sheer number, but just in sheer ratio of how at the rate of which you get them. The main reason for this is major trait stones are used less than every other trait stone in the game, pretty much. So you end up getting quite a bit of excess. So this is perfectly fine. 7 runics. A little bit expensive, 200 souls for each, but given that you can farm 20,000 souls per hour with the OK teams and upwards of 50,000 per hour with the best teams, I don't really consider the soul cost on almost all of these, except for that one that costs 1 million, to really be too expensive. The only thing that's really, I find to be a little bit too expensive are the arcane trait stones. If you needed a few of them, this wouldn't be horrific, but if you were planning to trait an entire troop based on just crafting its trait stones, that would just be suicide to your resources. Celestials, while generally don't have much value, given that they're used to make legends and mythics, they have a lot of value now. And runics, generally, throwing 6 runics just to make 1 arcane is pretty bad ratio. It's something that you could do as a backup, but I don't really foresee myself really using this, particularly with how many access of trade stones I already have. I almost feel like it would be better just going out of my way for like an hour, farming that trade stone that I need, and just sticking with that. I personally won't really be bothering with this at all. And as far as Celestial Tradestone, this is an absolute waste as well. Well, I say that. Maybe it might not be. There are some instances where this might not actually be a waste, but given how much of an excess of Celestials I have right now, and a lot of people, I consider it slightly a waste. But given that these jewels aren't really used for too much, it might actually be decent value for some people eventually. It just obviously no one really even has all of 100 of these things yet. And it could be useful, I guess. If you needed that little bit of extra to go make like a legend or a mythic, that'd probably be a pretty good time to go convert to try to get the celestial trait stones that you need to actually go craft one of them. But yeah, we'll see how things scale out. It is always possible that they rebalance things and stuff like that too. You never know. Hello, Sideways Stare. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Needing celestials to craft arcane seem unreasonable. I actually don't mind that it costs celestial to be able to make an arcane. The problem is it costs 2 celestials. If I was to rescale their cost, I say it would cost 1 celestial, 2 runics, and I guess you could keep the 400 soul cost, I guess. That's a little bit expensive, but it's fine, I guess. But the runic and celestial tradestone cost is definitely way too high. 1 celestial, 2 runics is like the highest it should be. Either 1 of both of the colors or 2 of the same color if it's a pure arcane. Right now it's like 3 times that cost. Almost. It's like 2.5 times or 3 times. Well, it's like 2 times the celestial cost of what I just said, 3 times the runic cost. It's definitely not the greatest, that is for sure. They can't make it too cheap though, because then no one will bother ever using any of the methods of actually farming trait stones. They will just go and simply convert all of the excess that they have, that they get from like keys and stuff. I think that was their biggest concern. The only problem is they scaled way too high in the opposite direction. They did almost like the inverse of what they did. Instead of making it so desirable to actually craft it, they made it almost not desirable at all to craft it. Good morning, ODX. I think I just said that, didn't I? Wow, that is extremely short-term memory, so. That will happen. But welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hey, if anyone has anything you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll just kind of be chilling with destroying everything, messing with teams that actually work within the meta after the AI change, and probably messing a little bit with the new Mythic. Haven't actually been running the new Mythic that much today. I do like it. I will be using it beyond this week. The biggest issue I have with it now is just some of the teams that kind of get used, like the Wisp Spam and a few others, do destroy it pretty hard. It's also pretty bad when the enemy has a famine, mainly because this is actually the team I kind of run to counter out famine these days now. But let's say the enemy has a famine and I miss on green. I just gave them about a instant kill famine plus a full mana drain to my team. And at that point, you essentially just lose thereafter. So it's really annoying having to use her against famine. But other than that, it works out pretty well. But yeah, it's been going good. Decent at least. Well, now a 10th of the way to being able to craft a mythic. Nice! Wait, you're already a 10th of the way there? You were getting really lucky on those jewel drops then. Did you get any from guild tasks yet? I forget if legendary tasks actually have any in them. I believe they do not, but I cannot confirm one way or another. I haven't actually seen one. I do not recall for sure if they are a thing. But yeah, I don't recall getting any. I haven't gotten any extra from anything yet. Oops, I forgot. You can't go to collection to see it. So far, we're only at 310, which is not even 10% yet. It's 90 off from that. Oh wait, did I not get the 50th pack yet today? Let me make sure I do that. I need to make sure I do that every single day, basically forever. Yeah, I got the 50 gem pack. I'm not buying the $5 thing today, though. That's going to be a waste. I don't think it's really that needed on a brown day. There's currently nothing that really uses brown, so I'm not going to bother putting it in. I'm pretty sure the only day I'm going to be buying from now on is what I mentioned already earlier, is I'm going to buy it on the next purple day, because I'll need that to get the final weapon that I need. And I'm also probably going to be buying it on the next few jewel days. But beyond that, I really don't foresee myself really buying it much at all beyond that point. Because then we'll start to be able to accumulate for the first time ever, a small excess of those little trait thingies, or the little stones, whatever they're called. The jewels. I'll keep getting every single name wrong. But, let's see. Where do we even throw on this board? Do we just throw an alchemist on blue or something? This doesn't actually give us an extra turn, but it would give us a mercy next turn, most likely. Oh, speaking of mercy. Oh, good thing it didn't give us a mercy next turn. That would have been his mercy. Didn't even notice that. Luckily he missed. So we'll go throw a guard. He'll hopefully be distracted off skull. Good. And too bad you can't see the enemy gem priority. Because there's no way to know for sure like what they're particularly trying to focus. At this point, I can pretty much just assume everyone's on base with everything just exactly the same. Because most people probably haven't fixed it yet. Oh, you just beat me on defend? Nice. Oh, are we going to get a thing that shows up that says we got defeated? Probably. Let's see. Yep, there you are. Oh, no. It shows a win. That's weird. You just said you won against me, right? It shows as a win. It shows that I just beat you, unless it's someone else. Oh, it's someone else. You didn't show up. That's weird. Well, I beat someone else. That's weird. Oh, I was one of their 8 loses, too. Sweet. We did something right. Yeah, it didn't show you. That was weird. We saw someone else who we ended up defeating, but we didn't end up seeing our win against you. I mean, our lose against you. Where did we go? Go take the... actually, we'll take that first. Oh, good. We got a mercy out of it, too. Sweet. Or we weren't going to get a mercy there, but we finally got one. So we'll go throw down the Hellcat then. Get that little poke on there. Throw down a alchemist on something. Go from there. We'll go throw the alchemist on green, it looks like. Gotta go and get ready. Gonna do lunch with a friend. Oh, well, have a good time at lunch. Let's see. I almost forget what lunch even is. I can't remember the last day I've actually eaten specifically a lunch. It's kind of a meal I generally skip because I'm so used to skipping it from college. Because there was never any time while I was in college to ever eat. Because the way that my schedule was every single day in college, generally how I scheduled it, was it was basically back to back to back to back to back to back. Maybe not until like 2 or 3 would I have like an hour or so between a class. But generally when I scheduled it, it would every single class from like 8 a.m. till like at least 2 generally would be with only a 5-minute gap or 15-minute gap actually between each thing. And even though 15 minutes is a bit of time, it takes like 10 minutes with how much you have to walk just to actually reach your destination. So you kind of had to leave immediately. You didn't really have time to eat in between. Generally, a lot of people would like deliberately like have a gap in between their day where they would go eat. I didn't bother with that. I just got it all done immediately just so I could get out as quickly as possible to get back home. Let's get it all done at once. We'll go throw that down on brown to red. What else? What else? We'll take the red. Go throw down on a alchemist somewheres. If we even have that available. Doesn't really seem like it. Move that, move that. What else do we need to go do? I guess we can take out the blue convert. Get a little green out of it. And do we have a Hellcat available? Did not see any. We can just go move that real quick though. Throw it into a mercy. That then gives us a guard that we can throw. Let me go and take the mana real quick. Take the red to yellow. Let him just get skull distracted. And that should pretty much be matched. We'll just throw the Hellcat on the blue. And sure, we'll convert out whatever. It doesn't really matter. Actually, we can just take skull. Don't even need to bother with that. Hello, Humberto. Welcome. 0 diamonds today. No! I actually got lucky enough that hasn't happened to me yet. I'm going to be so disappointed though. I already ended up raging about that before I've even gotten 0. But the second I get 0, I'll it's going to be so depressing. Yeah, they really need to tweak it. They really need to make it. I have no clue why you would make a aspect of a game that you can only do a limited number of times per day, and a game like this completely random. Like in some games, it would make sense to make your daily thing like a random drop, but in a game like Gems of War, it doesn't make a single bit of sense at all. We'll go throw down the Mercy. Go throw down that. Get herself a guard avatar. And go from there. And yeah, we'll throw another guard. Let him get skull distracted. Oops, I didn't take the yellow. Or any of that. Wow. That was a lot more on the board than I initially noticed. But it's not going to matter. It's already match right there. Imagine when you were in school, you never guessed you would play games for your job. Oh no, that was not anything I would ever guess. That was not something I would ever guess, but that is something that has pretty much happened now. Because we've been doing it on such a regular basis at this point. But I really appreciate all your guys' support. Without it, it would not actually be possible for me to do this. Let's see. Well, we'll go take the brown. Start getting alchemists up. Nothing else we can follow up with like Mercy and stuff. So we'll go take the red over. Get ourselves a nice Hellcat to throw down. He's going to wisp us like crazy. That's always really annoying. The dreaded wisps. I can guarantee you Wisp will be nerfed in the near future. It just does way too much at the moment. And the fact that the AI got changed just makes it even stronger. Before the AI change, I think we could have gotten away with it being as is. But after the AI change, it's just really insane. Even more so than what it already was. The amount of value it gets is just slightly too high. There are counters to it, but like Leshy is about one of the only thing that you can really do to specifically hard counter it. Which obviously people aren't going to bother putting a common into their team just for the purpose of countering a Wisp. Though you could if you technically wanted to. If you do find it to be a really, really big hassle right now. Let's see. Yeah, currently it's, actually I don't know what the exact percent chance would be that you would get 0 2 days in a row. But, it is happening to a lot of people these days. I haven't heard many reports of anyone getting a 60 in one day. Has anyone here actually gotten 60 yet? It is technically possible to get 60 jewels in one day. Though you would have to roll 2 25% and a 50% in order to actually get it. And I'm not talking about packs. I'm talking about like just the actual things. Like, has anyone actually gotten all 3 of the jewel drops? I mean the diamond drops from the dungeoning system. Pretty sure it's very few. Oh, there you go. You ended up getting it. Really nice. Yeah, that'd be really lucky, anyone who ever gets it. Today you got 0, though. Well, it's from the max amount you can get to the lowest amount you can get. Interesting. Yeah, so far I've gotten exactly 20 every day, which, based on their percent, should be what you technically average out to. But, of course, some people are going to be slightly lower. Some people are going to be slightly higher. We'll go throw down the alchemist. The biggest thing of why I don't understand why they did it like that is generally with how Gems of War is set up. Progression in the game is basically a guild-based progression in which everyone in the guild basically progresses together by a same or very similar amount. And by them having the different jewel values, they're deliberately adding a factor that is making it so people within the same guild do not progress at the same rate, which kind of goes against everything that's already really set up in the game. Which is one of the most confusing things I find to be about it. Okay, well, we'll go throw the alchemist down, and then just get the Hellcat, and that's match. Also, we'll have the first redeem code in probably about 15 minutes or so. We'll go and throw that down. We'll have another one later today as well, and probably about 2-ish hours from now, approximately. Someone know why Valkyrie got blue bonus on match blue? What do you mean by that? She has a +1 on her final trait. That's what's giving the +1 on the blue. If you're referring to why do troops that don't have any color of a specific color get a +1, this is mainly because they're made to be synergized with other related color troops. Like, even though Valkyrie is a red-yellow, it has a +1 because it creates blue, and then any of the troops that you then accumulate blue mana on will end up getting additional 1 every time you take blue. You have to keep in mind that every single one of those little bonus things, it doesn't apply just to the troop itself, it applies to your entire team. So if you have a +1 blue mana, any troop or any instance that you ever take a blue mana will feed that +1 blue into any troop that ends up accumulating that blue. It's not just for the Valkyrie, obviously, because she can't use blue. And there's a few other troop instances within the game that is also set up similarly to that of a Valkyrie, where it actually has a +1 on a color that it doesn't actually use. Another noteworthy one is Queen Aurora. Gives +1 to everything, and of course only uses 3 colors, not all 6. Let's see. Well, we'll go throw down the Alchemist. Ideally, we don't want to do it on a purple, but we'll throw it down because we don't have a choice. And we can Hellcat on yellow. Obviously, that is a really bad idea, so we'll just throw a guard. And hopefully that skull will give us alignment next turn. And yes, it does. It gives it to us on purple and brown. I guess we'll do it on purple. Why not? Go throw that down and go from there. So what else do we need to go do? We'll throw down the Alchemist, throw down blue. And what else? What else? Do we have alignment? Yeah, we'll throw it on the green, it looks like. Unless we have a brown opening. Oh, we did have a brown opening. Oops, I should have gone for it. Oh well, not that big a deal. We can do the brown off the yellow instead. Works perfectly fine. And then we can just throw guard for the kill. And go from there. And down it goes. The dub bub. Dub bub. That works so perfectly with the Farge troll, that word up there. Dub bub. Now I will ever think of that as dub bub. No. But doesn't that word work perfectly for what this visually looks like? A dub bub. Yeah. Anyways. You've gotten 20 diamonds in 9 dungeons? Ouch. That is some pretty bad value. Hopefully you'll get a 60 soon to make up for it. They also add jewels to treasure hunt. Oh, that would be amazing if they add it. Lore-wise, they even mentioned that. They have Tyree and everything in it. So they might as well add a little bit. It would be a great way to rejuvenate. Actually, that would probably be the easiest way ever if they wanted to rejuvenate arena and treasure maps. Add jewels to treasure hunt and add diamonds to arena. If they were to do that, both of those game modes would instantly become used again. That's all they would have to do. It doesn't even have to be a huge amount. But if they were to add those resources to both of them, they'd instantly be... The amount of usage that they would go from. Like right now, I'm pretty sure only about like 5% of the player base, particularly later in the game, it's probably even lower. But a really small amount of player base even bother using like either of the 2 game modes, particularly arena, because it's more of just like an extremely early game thing that you do. But yeah, it would be like 20% to almost 50% of people, probably even more than that, if they were to add jewels to both those game modes. It'd also help newer players quite a bit as well, since newer players are just more inclined to have to do those, because it's better value already. Hey, it's Carter the Horse. To do both of them. That reminds me. Has Krillr been doing videos? For the longest of times, he was doing Gems of War videos, but nowadays he hasn't been. Wonder what happened with him. But yeah, he used to do Gems of War video. Not sure if he's still around. Let me see. We can check his profile right now. When was he last on? Well, he's still playing. Last seen 8 minutes ago. Has he been doing videos though, or have I just not been paying attention? Last I recall, he hasn't done a video for like a couple months now. He could just be busy with other stuff and just casually playing. I was doing that in college. I would still be playing, but I wouldn't really be doing much else. Or, you know, I'd be playing for a little bit, but it wasn't really like a focus. I would just do kind of like the weekly stuff and then just stop playing the game for the rest of the week. That was prior to actually having a channel on it, of course. But when I was a lot busier back then, it was basically just do whatever the minimums were for the week and then just stop playing. That's what I used to do, just to kind of maintain the accounts but not actually play. A lot of people who basically quit the game kind of do that as well. Like they'll stop playing for the most part, but they still do like some of the weekly stuff and the daily stuff just to make sure they keep the progression of their account alive for when they do decide to come back to the game, so that their account is still fully progressed, and also so they don't fall off the meta. Because sometimes if you don't play a game for a very long time, you will kind of lose track of what's actually really good at a given time. I think the most noteworthy game that has ever happened to me in is Dota. I used to play Dota 1 and 2 a lot, and I haven't played it for about 2 years now. If I go back into that game, I'm going to look like a complete noob, even though I've had so much experience in that game. But just because I haven't bothered playing it for such a extremely long duration of time. Since the forearm meltdown, yeah, I remember that. Okay, well, into the next battle. I should probably go mess around with a couple different teams too. I've been running this most of the time today. It's mainly because it's just so consistently decent. Guard's Avatar in general, I think, is just one of the best PvP troops, really, after the changes that they made. Even though not many changes were made, but a lot of people run Damons right now with like famine and stuff, and a lot of people just don't really run the proper damage to be able to kill it. The few biggest teams that are run right now are a one-shot Draculus, which Guard's Avatar is good against, a Scion Famine team, which Guard's Avatar is good against, and the one team that is ran a lot that Guard's Avatar is not perfect for is the Wisp KrissTigger team. But generally, you do such a ridiculously high amount of damage that it doesn't even matter, that it won't be able to function against them. Or it still functions against them, it's just not the most optimal of counters, that is for sure. Well, we'll go take the skull right there, go throw down a guard, and go from there. We'll go through a Mercy. See if we can get the Hellcat in there. Get ourselves another Mercy. And another guard. Okay, what do we need to do? Throw the Hellcat. Get some value. And I guess we throw another Mercy. Put that down. Get another Hellcat on the green. And dead. Very much dead. And for the map. Success. Show your deck to farm souls, please. Sure, I can show my soul farming deck. I'll show the budget version and the non-budget version. So let's go show the budget version first, because that one is realistic. So the teams I'm going to show are 20,000 per hour, and the second one I'll show is about 50,000 to 60,000 souls per hour. So let's go do the first one first. Let's see, Warlock. You need for this a Warlock, a Valkyrie, and a Warlock. They're all rares. It's really easy to build, though the one limiter is you do need enough magic to be able to one-shot this one challenge. The easiest challenge in the game. Let me go get Warlock in there. Put that in. Warlock, Warlock, Warlock. Red, yellow banner. If I can go find where on earth that is. Let's see. Oops, bonuses. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Where are you? There you are. Red, yellow. Okay. Oh wait, never mind. It's not red, yellow. That's actually the wrong banner. It's the +2 red, +1 yellow, -1 brown. Yes, you go -1 brown. It might seem a little bit weird given that that's one of your 4 colors, but it does work. You would use a different banner if it was available, but it does work for what you need to do. So it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. There's no need to really go more out of your way than that. So we'll just go with that. And not what I meant to do it against. You do it in, you go to Divinion Fields, you go to challenges, and then you do the very first challenge here. You put it on normal difficulty or on the highest difficulty that you can one-shot them. I believe I can do it on like Warlord 1 or Warlord 2. I'll just do it on normal difficulty for now though. But we'll just leave that there. And essentially what you do is go for your Valkyrie immediately. So start getting your Valkyrie up. And this particular team we're using right now does about 20,000 souls per hour. One thing to note about it though is you have to, absolutely have to, be able to have enough damage on your Warlock to be able to one-shot everything on the enemy team. You'll want to target the last slot first because he has the highest possible durability. So do keep that in mind. So we'll go and throw this Valkyrie over. We'll go and try do this on basically anything that we don't need on the board. We want to keep red and yellow on the board whenever we cast this. Appears we don't have any extra turn, but we do, of course, want to actually cast it. So we'll just throw that down. That'll give us mana on essentially everything. And now we just start poking away. So we'll throw on the highest durability, and basically you start from the bottom and work your way up. Whenever you can get a decent amount of yellow or red, particularly for free, you're going to want to take it. And then just keep killing through everything on the enemy team. And then right before you go for the final thing, you just throw down another Valkyrie, ideally on an extra turn like that, and then you kill it out again, and then boom. And from this particular battle, we will end up getting 275 souls. And that takes about 1 minute if you were to do it back to back to back. Let's see, assuming you did do that in 1 minute, 275 times 60. That would come out to 16,500. Do keep in mind, you can easily do it way quicker than a minute, but let's just assume you're going a little bit slower and maybe you don't have as high of a bonus on your souls or something. It's easily 15,000, if not higher. 20,000 is extremely realistic. You can even go as high as 25,000 if you were really going full-fledged, no distractions, just constantly focusing 100% on it. And the next one is about a 50,000 to 60,000 range. It's like 3-4 times higher, more like 3, I would say. But it is really, really good. Unfortunately, it is also excessively expensive. It is triple Farish Ra with a Valkyrie, essentially the same team. If you have only less Farish Ras, you essentially just build the exact same team, just with partial Warlocks in the place of any Farish Ra you don't have. So this is a viable team. This is a viable team, and of course, triple Farish Ra is a viable team. And this one with all 3 of them, every single Farish Ra you add to your team is about an additional 10,000 souls per hour, approximately. It's actually slightly more than 10,000. I think it's like 12,500 approximately. Don't know the exact value, but essentially every Farish Ra gives you an excessively higher amount of souls, mainly because, of course, 150%. He's basically like 3 Warlocks as 1 troop, so you get a lot of value out of him. Same premise as far as your banner and everything. This you can set up to, I think, like Warlord 3 difficulty, I believe, and you just do the exact same premise as before. I believe you can actually do this a little bit better on a different challenge too. It's a little bit annoying because this one has Agile. Okay, never mind. Warlord 2 is the highest you can do it on, not Warlord 3, because you need to make sure your skulls can one-shot them. So Warlord 2 is actually the highest, but you can easily set the difficulty higher, mainly because you can just go for the quick kills. So we'll go and just get the brown, because you end up accumulating a ridiculously high amount of damage. As you can see, we're already hitting over 100 after 1 Valkyrie cast, which is obviously ridiculously high. So from here, we'll just go and like convert out green, get a little bit more mana that way. I'm trying to get yellow to purple alignment if we can. That will really speeds up the battle quite a bit if you are able to get it. If not, it's not really that big a deal, but it is definitely really helpful. I kill that first because we don't want to have to deal with Agile. Like I said, the extra turn helps out a lot because we'll end up getting that. Ideally, we'd have another cast right now, which would be very, very useful if we could actually throw that down there. We'll just go get another Valkyrie. We're already at max souls. You're never not going to get max souls when using this team. It's pretty much just a given. And then just keep Farish Rawing until you inevitably win. And similarly, this can easily win every single minute, and quite a bit quicker than a minute as well, if you're completely focusing on it. And as you can see, 825 souls. It can gain quite a bit of souls, to say the least. And for example, if we go and times that, let's say we do 1 every minute of that, 825 times 60 would end up giving you a result of 49,500 souls, and you can easily hit upwards of 60,000 souls per hour as well. But just that, every single minute would have been 49,500, just under 500,000. I mean 50,000, 500,000, that'd be amazing. But just under 50,000 is what it would be. So technically, if I was to go and try to farm for this weapon right here, if I was to go out of my way on like a day or 2 or 3, it would take a little while. But oops, I meant to go in Soulforge. If I was to go out of my way to try to farm this weapon right over here, the souls I would need to accumulate for it with the best soul farming team in the game would actually take 20 hours. 26 if you count the weapons that we need for it too, but just counting that 1,000,000 souls, it would take 20 hours of vigorously farming souls. Or maybe not that vigorous. You can kind of casually do 50,000 per hour. It's about 60,000 if you vigorously do it per hour. But it would take about 20-ish hours to be able to get this weapon. which is quite a bit of time. That's not even counting the other stuff, but the other stuff's actually pretty cheap for the most part. It's mainly that ridiculous amount of souls, which is of course the hardest thing to actually obtain out of it. We are going to get it eventually, just as I mentioned many times, it's not a main priority, obviously. That is a lot of souls, and once I get it the initial time, if I don't soul farm for it, I'm basically going to be down to 0 souls almost, because I have to get all the parts for it too, which is going to burn through 300,000 souls as well. But yeah, I think that answered whatever the question was. I think the answer, or the question was, what are the soul farming teams? Hopefully that answered it. If you still need any help with teams, essentially the whole premise of soul farming these days is triple Warlock Valkyrie and just keep replacing in Fairish Raws for every Fairish Raw you have. That's essentially what soul farming is, and you just do it on the first challenge of Divinity Field. The reason for this is it's the easiest challenge to actually kill. You can do it on other ones if you choose to, but that's the easiest one. So it's a good place to start, and if you prefer a different one, then go do a different one. But that's just normally the one I tend to advise. Can I try to get the highest soul from one battle? You believe you need 4 Fairish Raws. Unfortunately, I don't have a 4 Fairish Raw. And with how crafting system is, I won't have a 4 Fairish Raw for a while, because it is extremely expensive to make one. Also, it might not be on rotation for a while as well, because it's on rotation this week, and obviously no one can actually afford to buy it this week. So hopefully the rotation system will be changed a little bit in the future. For the Mythics, it's not as bad, but for like Legends and stuff, it's pretty horrible. At least for the Mythic, even if Fairish Raw is coming this week, yeah, we'll still be able to get him again, probably in the next month. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a 4 Fairish Raw. That'd be amazing if I did, but I don't. There really is no need to go with a 4 Fairish Raw. Maybe just for fun to see how many souls you can get from one battle, because I believe you can get over 1 million souls if you have 4 Fairish Raws. There's no viable way to ever do that, though. Triple Fairish Raw Valkyries is viable as you can ever get a soul farming team. It's impossible to make it more viable than that, at least with what currently exists in the game. Maybe if a different, better option than Valkyrie ever was added. I don't really foresee that happening. You would have to add a really insane mana generator to get something better than Valkyrie in that team. Alright, let's get rid of red. Obviously, that's not a color we really want to get rid of, but we do have the Mercy, so I was kind of hoping we could go and do a Mercy then. And we were able to get that off. That works out. We'll go and throw down... well, I guess we'll just move that up. Get rid of every extra turn that's currently on the board. Let them get Skull distracted. Throw the Guard Avatar. And move from there. Of course, we don't have Hellcat alignment right now because I had to get rid of all the red earlier when we ended up doing that. We'll try throwing a Hellcat somewhere. We'll probably do that on brown right there. Get ourselves an Alchemist, probably on the green. Get that down. Get a nice little Hellcat going. Move that down. What else? What else? Yeah, we'll throw it down, sure. And we'll get that nice little poke and kill it with the Hellcat for the win. And there we go. Oh, and we get a map. What do you consider the best Scion? Oh, no! What? Internal error? I haven't seen that before. Internal error. Don't you dare count that as a lose. Good job. It did count as a lose. Not only did it count it as a lose, but we are 2 minutes in the past right now, apparently. Because in 1 minute we will win a defend, and in 2 minutes we will win another defense. Well then. So that counted as a lose and gave us 2 negative numbers. Did I screenshot that? I need to send that later. What on earth just happened? I've never seen the initial error thing before. It's the same error as the other error. I guess maybe it's just called something different. I think that's the first time that it happened during the new patch, or at least for me. So maybe they just renamed what the error is called to internal error instead. Who knows? But regardless, that's annoying. Fix these internal errors and server errors, whichever one you want to call the error, just fix it. Well, that's a fail. I hate when it does that. It's an error that's been around for a while. Not that specific one, but the premise of what just happened. Where you end up winning a battle, then it counts as a lose. There's nothing more annoying than that. Not that big a deal, but it can get annoying if it happens multiple times in a day. Generally, it only happens once per day when I'm playing. In like a 3-hour session, it'll happen. Like every 3 hours approximately, it'll happen about once or so. Oh, was it already posted? Did someone make a post? Did the devs reply to it yet? Saying what exactly happened? Internal error. Very easy first turn. Yeah, it counts as a lose. No response to it yet. It was posted 10 hours ago. Yeah, it's not just me getting the error. That's funny. There's a poll on the forum saying that if the new patch is good or bad. Right now, it's about it's about 2/3, 1/3. It's 61% say that the patch is bad, 39% say that it's good. And I was actually one of the people that said that the patch is good. There's a lot of things, design decisions that I disagree with within the patch, and just overall, the premise of the patch I really love. It's just the decisions that they made for some of the balancing with it is just horrifically bad, though. But they were going to be tweaking in the past. They're going to get community feedback. They're really good about listening to the community, so they will tweak it in the future. That's one of the main reasons why I kind of consider it decent. If they didn't tweak it, that'd be a different story, but they're definitely going to be doing something to change. Whenever the community is ever is this vocal about something, they'll generally address it and fix whatever the issue is, and they will be getting around to probably rebalancing some things, probably maybe add alternative means of getting some of the jewels. They might even rework guild tasks again, possibly, because a lot of people have been mentioning that, though I think people are mentioning too much about the guild task. We don't even know exactly what they're going to be. Once we see them, then we can make more of a verdict on what exactly the guild tasks are, but as this current moment, I don't really have an opinion on them, mainly because we don't know what they are, so it's kind of hard to have an opinion. We only know that they got slightly nerfed by their words, though that means they probably got extremely hard nerfed. Who knows? Slightly nerfed is relative when they say it, because they saying that something got nerfed could be, it doesn't necessarily mean it got nerfed, and it could be by a larger margin if they say small. Let's see. Well, we'll go and throw down this skull, I guess. Let him get a kill right there. This team is supposed to be good against you, so hopefully we'll get that guard off. I probably didn't need to cast what I just did. That was actually a little bit of a waste. He is going to skull us, so we're going to need a Hellcat next turn. Luckily, there should be a Hellcat on that round still, and there is. He's silenced, so we don't need to worry about that. We also silenced the Deaf, which is nice. What's funny is, since Deaf is a undead daemon, he gets silenced and burned. I believe the new Mythic that you can only craft is also a daemon undead, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to be able to get hit by both of those stats effects as well, which will be kind of cool. Though that's going to make him even weaker. Though he is kind of decent to begin with, so... I don't know how overused he's going to be. Probably not that much, mainly because no one's going to have him. Even if he was the most amazing troop in the game, he'd barely be overused, because he's so hard to craft. He's currently the hardest Mythic in the entire game to own, is the new Xenos guy. Because he costs the same amount of every other Mythic to craft, except even more. So he's just even more expensive. And since every Mythic can now be crafted, of course, since the new format, and since he costs more to craft than any of the other ones, he's of course then, in theory, the most expensive then. Let's see, what do we do here? Guess we'll go take the red. I don't see a Mercy, which obviously would be the main thing we'd want to go for if it was available. We might just have to throw a Mercy on the board. We don't really have many other choices. Plus, we'll get purple off the board, so he can't use it for his wisps and stuff. He does get a nice extra turn, unfortunately. Not much we can really do about that. Hellcat. We have it on yellow. And we could do a little bit off of blue, but it's not really worth it. So we might as well just go and throw it on the... You know what? I'm just going to take a red, actually. Just to get Alchemist up. And to go from there. Okay, well, that resulted in unfortunate amount of mess. But we'll go, see if we can get a guard down. Let him do his thing. We're not going to bother with that. We'll just throw down a guard, get a Hellcat off. He ruined it slightly. He does get a kill, but that's not really too relevant. Throw that on the brown right there. Get a nice guard as soon as we take the extra turn. Get a little poke. And guard it down. Then probably do it on yellow and end it that way. Or just throw a Hellcat, why not? We'll go that way. And there we go. Against the Kriss. You always use Mercy, Alchemist, Hellcat, Guard. Yeah, I've been starting to shift into that team now too. It's bad for end gamers and most forum users are end gamers, yeah. That is probably actually the biggest people who got hit was end game people. Extremely early game people also got hit slightly in a negative way. Mainly because they did touch back the starting section of the guild tasks got nerfed slightly. They did a really weird scaling. Instead of making it cost more gold, they made tasks give less resources at the earlier sections, but more at the later sections, but overall nerfed downwards, which is a little bit odd, because that kind of punishes newer players, because the ones that don't have any gold to really begin with, or not that much, they're not going to be able to really gain as much, obviously, because they're not going to be, they're just naturally not going to be playing much. So the fact that there's now 4 times speed, while it is going to increase their rates slightly, as far as how much gold they're getting, they're not playing enough for that to really be any big of an impact. Not to mention, they might not even be playing PvP yet, which of course gives all the gold. And if they're not playing PvP yet, then they're really going to be at a disadvantage. But most newer players do kind of get into PvP pretty much immediately. But for the ones that don't, that's going to really be a kind of a handicap to them compared to what it was before. Well, throw the guard avatar down. Okay, what else do we need to go move? Well, I guess we'll take the little mercy poke with an alchemist. And see if we can find ourselves a Hellcat somewhere. So we'll go throw that down. Get herself a blue drop. And probably throw a mercy somewhere. It feels like Guard's avatar came out today. I'm using him probably today more than I was using the new one. We probably should go use the other one a little bit more. I do like using the other troop. It's just Guard's avatar just seems so good these days. It's not like he was ever bad. It's just, I don't know. I found a new liking for this troop all of a sudden in the current meta because everything else is failing me these days. So we'll go throw that down. This team still seems to be keeping its same win rate that it's always had, which is kind of nice. A lot of things have actually reduced their win rate as of the most recent patch, but that seems to be maintaining it pretty much the same. If anything, it's almost winning more because so many people are running Daemons right now. Like there's an Inferno King, there's a Def, and a... Oh, actually only a Def. But almost every team is later in the games running at least like one Daemon. And if not, they're probably running like double... They're either running like the Justice team or they're running a Wisp Christine X. Also, I can't wait till Unique Defense in Guild Wars comes out. I can't wait till we actually get diversity in Guild Wars. Right now, it's just like the 3-4 most overused teams over and over again. It'll be nice to see some variety. It won't affect PvP at all, but it definitely will affect how much diversity we'll have in Guild Wars, which would be nice. Let me go switch over back to Yasmin, I mean. Yasmin Webb. This is the main team I've been running with her for the most part. Biggest issue with it is it works decently. It's annoying using it against a famine because if you miss, you basically just lost the battle because famine will then drain your entire team and then you just lose from there. But when they're not using a famine, it actually works out pretty well. Well, he doesn't have a famine, so we should be able to go fine. We'll just take the green over, let him take a poke. I don't even mind. So him getting extra turn off that poke would have been really bad. Luckily, he did not actually get it. Not really bad. We do not have that good of a board right now. We also got no surge right there. Actually, then again, even if we did get the surge, that wouldn't have been enough. But let's see. We'll go take, I guess, blue and start getting it rolling. So we'll let him poke us a little bit. Go get the poisons down. So if we take skulls, we'll at least be able to triple skull damage him now. What else do we need to go move? I guess we'll take a web spinner down and go from there. So we'll throw down the web spinner. A nice little poke on there. Still a little bit bad. If we can get a skull somewhere, that'd be great if we can go kill him. What else? What else? We weren't really able to get a Ragnagord off, unfortunately. We'll just go throw that down. Get a nice Ragnagord now. Throw a little bit of mana. Go throw a web spinner. Did we throw a green seer first? We'll throw a web spinner. It's a pretty nice board set up right there. Now we want to throw the green seer. Actually, you know what? Throw the Yasmin. Has a higher chance of landing, yet it still misses. Not by much. It is one additional gem. Very rarely will that make too big of a difference, but hey, you never know. It could make a difference. So we'll go throw that down to replenish the board a bit. And onto that. Should be fine. And there we go. Just goes down. The biggest issue is when it actually misses. If it can get its loop and everything is fine. Oh, did we just hit it right on the dot? I think we did. Oops. PvP. Leaders. There we go. 11000 on the dots. Let's screenshot that. I like nice even numbers that are all rounded up. Oh, 2000. Look at that too. A nice 2000 right on the dot. Simultaneous to us getting 11,000. Wow, he almost has as many battles as we've done raiding. That is insane. Well, actually, there's a pretty big disparity between the two, but still, you get what I mean. That's a lot of wins, is what I'm basically trying to say. I think he's doing 2 trophies or something, because his amount of wins is a lot higher than the person who is only at 70,000. He's probably doing a lot of 2 and 1 trophies. I don't foresee him really doing much other than that, because he has almost double the wins, yet only 22,000 more rating, yet their win rate's about the same. So he's probably doing a lot of the lower ones. Okay, anyways. Let's go and check our mail. Go get our little rewards and stuff. And go throw this down again. Against the All-Strixes. I have so few of those gems, mainly because barely anyone's been running them. I think we're only at like 200 or something, which is still more than what we needed, but still. It's a little low. Okay, Mercy. Of course, we don't use a Mercy when we actually need like an amazing Mercy cast for the board. Let's just go and get rid of something off the board. Just get our mana generated, get that going. We only end up getting a green seer out of it. If we could get alignment on that, that'd be great, and we do. We have it on the brown. So we'll go take that. Get some nice alignments. We have the blue there. Do we even need to take the blue? I guess we'll take it. Why not? Throw a green seer. Just start getting the board going a little bit. That also gives us the poison. If we want to go for the option of skulls, we can destroy them like crazy with the double, triple. The double, triple. Double, triple. Okay. Let's see. What else? What else? I think we go Ragnagord here. Do it on like yellow or something. Clear up the board a little bit. Go and start throwing this down. We get the alignment. Throw this. Get the alignment. Go again. Go again. And that's match. Oh, how did you live that? How did you survive? Well, we'll go through that. There we go. How did the Adrena win so many points in PvP? Mainly from doing a lot of lower battles. I believe he's spamming the 2 trophy, I would assume. The 1 or 2 trophy. He's probably using some kind of like Bombot team or some kind of really similar concept. And basically just throwing as much damage as possible at lower trophy. We were messing with that earlier too. You can do something along the lines of this. It's an old team that used to be amazing when it first initially came out. It's still actually somewhat decent. Ever since they added like the 10% and 20% and stuff, and just more stats in general, it hasn't been as good. If they'd start adding a few more armor kingdoms, it would probably start making a bit more of a comeback. But it was this team right here. I'm not sure if this is specifically what he's using, but this is one of the teams that work for doing such a thing. What you essentially do is you look for really easy 1 and 2 trophies that are very low durability. You then throw this team at it. You use fully traded Mechanist class with Deep Bore, Double Bombot, Black Manacle, and then you just destroy them like crazy. You just go get the Deep Bore, throw down your little bit of mana that you can get, throw that down. Ideally, you'd get an extra turn right there. A little bit bad of a start, but we'll go through the Bombot. That gives us a little bit of board control. We then go take a little bit more mana. It takes the wrong one. Good job. Ranger's going to get in the way a little bit. Hopefully it gets skull distracted. No, it won't. That's a little bit bad. Oh well. We'll go through the Bombot, which made it a little bit less damage, but still enough. And yeah, you just keep spamming that on 1 and 2 trophies. It goes really quick for the battles. Of course, you're getting a lot less rating, but other than that, it's pretty good. Just because you're not getting rating doesn't necessarily mean that you're not really getting a lot of points, because you can win so much quicker. That kind of offsets the fact that you're getting a lot less as far as like resources and stuff. But yeah, ideally you'd be able to 2 trophy it, which we can do right here. But doing something along this lines. I know, we'll do the code, I know. Promises were made. I'm doing the code. It's not like I don't do it. It just slightly delayed. It's not me even deliberately delaying. It's just the fact that I am very forgetful. But yes, we'll go do the code right now. And let's go get the Deep Bore going. Distractions. I mean, questions keep distracting. But yeah, let me go do the redeem code right now. We'll go get that in. But yeah, that's basically something along the lines of what the person in number 1 is likely doing. He's doing something along that. He might not be specifically doing that, but he's doing something very similar to what we just did in those 2 battles. Anyways, let me go do the redeem code, as was just mentioned in the chat. So let me go bring that up. Let me go find it real quick. We will give out 2 redeem codes today. We'll have another one a little bit later as well. Let me go give out the initial one. Redeem codes. Do we just do the one offline? Let's see. Sure. Let's go and do that. The next one down the line. The Tacet spoil. This would have been nice earlier when we actually spoiled the thing. We spoiled it. We ended up doing a stream earlier where we ended up spoiling the 3.1 patch. I had to take it down for a while. It's back up now. I don't think many people noticed that it was back up though, because I had to basically post it when it came back up live. When the patch was already out, so it was kind of irrelevant by the time it came back. Hello, Urzik. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, well, let's go and put this into the thing. Go put this into, if I can go get it real quick. Where'd it go? 1 second. Where'd it go? Need to go put this into the interface. I got it copied. Need to find where the game code thing is. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Somewhere's here. It is. Oh, there it is. Oops, just gotta move that over. Move that over. Move that down. Redeem code. Copy. Oh no! Oops, undo button, please. There we go. Good thing undo exists. There we go. Tacet spoil. And just go and center that. And let me go and get the place that you actually go and use that and everything. So let me go move this to the corner. And go and get the link for that, get the game code, open that new tab, and invite code. Oh, by the way, actually let me go get the link first, and then I'll go the normal rant on everything. So we'll go post that. There you guys go. There's the link. There is the code. What you do is you go to gemsofwar.com underneath game code, or you just go to that website, and then you go and put in your invite code. Your invite code can be found under settings. Whatever your game says right there is what you put in. And then you put in the actual code, click that you're not a robot, and then you get some resources. So yeah, if anyone wants to go do that, feel free to do so. You can do it on PC and mobile. Unfortunately, it does not work on the console versions. But we'll go claim that. Successful. Oops, I didn't mean click that. Click over to mail. And you get the normal reward of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And also this gem key could have that new mythic in it. It's very unlikely. It is possible. Oh, we have 2 gem keys. What was the other gem key from? Did we do a code earlier and that was a spare one from it? I think I might have gave a code out earlier and forgot to do the gem key for it. I wouldn't be surprised. I forget a lot of things. Oh, we didn't get anything useful. Oh well. I actually would have preferred runic trait stones or something. Even those are more useful than that. But oh well. There's so many drops that I already have that almost nothing will even be a viable drop anyways. Let's see. You got a 404 error? Try refreshing the page. That might work. I'm not quite sure. I've never actually gotten a 404 error when going to that page. I've been getting a 500 error a lot on YouTube recently. I forget exactly what a 500 error even is. But, and not in the, like, normal, not within, like, normal YouTube, but in, like, the back channels of YouTube. I've been getting that error a lot recently. It's ever since that update they made, like, a couple days ago, YouTube has been, like, so broken. It was almost like going backwards. It feels like it ruined more than it even fixed. If it even fixed anything, I don't even know what it changed, to be exact. But it's a lot different now. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it changed, but it's a lot different. Well, we'll throw down guard and get the kill. But yeah, we'll have another redeem code in about an hour or so. We'll probably be streaming for about, let's say about another 2 hours or so. Messing around with stuff. 505 is internal server error. Okay, that's what that is. Thank you for that. You know much more than I do. Let's see. What is the fast team with sacrifice? The fast team with sacrifice doesn't really get used anymore. It's this team over here. If I can go bring it up real quick. Let's see. It's this team. If I can get there. Let's see. Let me go do it on the 1 trophy. So let's go rebuild this. I don't think I have it saved. I don't think I bother anymore because it has such a ridiculously low win rate. Ever since gem spawn was changed, I think it has like a 50% win rate or something. But it's this team right here. It was Crimson Bat, Elspeth. Oh, you have to use Death Knight class with it. I'm not going to bother switching my class. So I'll just use double sacrifice instead. Sacrifice and sacrifice. Normally you would use a Death Knight class in last slot. Is the kind of whole premise behind the team. But yeah, unfortunately I can't do that. So for the banner, we're just going to go to a, I believe it was double purple I ran with, just to make sure it goes up. I forget if I did double purple or if I did like a blue something or something. Pretty sure it was actually double purple though. Was it? You know what? It might have just been a red-blue. I don't even remember what I was used to run with it. I know it was this. It was Death Knight class and Sacrifice. I know this was the order. I forget what banner I would normally run. But we'll just go run with this. It's going to be a little bit weaker due to the fact that I'm not using Death Knight class. That's kind of the whole premise, is to use Death Knight class with it. Fully traded Death Knight. But we'll just go throw that down. That gives us our death. We'll go take the extra turn. We then throw this on blue. Or red if there's more red. Or whatever you set your banner to. Set it. Just do it on that color. Then we'll get that up. And then you would normally throw this again. And then you'd have enough magic to one-shot. Right now we already have enough magic to one-shot. But yeah, that's basically the sacrifice, the quick sacrifice team. It still works, but it can lose a lot, particularly if you do it on really high. It kind of has the same problem that Bombot team has. It doesn't really work when they have too high of a durability. Like even against a team like this, it might actually struggle a bit with, but we'll still try it on this one trophy. Teams like this are meant for only 1 and 2 trophying. We ended up making a word, by the way. Trophying. It's the act of gaining trophies. Trophying. Let's see. What we'll go and take the yellow over. Go and throw down. Well, we kind of missed earlier, so we're in a pretty bad position. Let's take, I guess, a purple. What else do we need to do? I guess we take the extra turn on the purple into the green into... Yeah, we'll do that. Move that over, move that over. And then go for a purple and throw that into a blue or red. Looks like a blue right now, though. We'll throw that into blue. And we get sacrificed right back up. Throw that into blue again. And then you just team wipe. But yeah. That's basically the whole premise. You do use Death Knight class as the final slot, though, generally. But as you can see, it works without it. You don't actually need to have Death Knight class. It's preferred. It's definitely preferred to have fully traded Death Knight in last slot. But as you can see, it's not a requirement. For higher levels, like if you tried a 3 trophy with it, you would 100% mandatory need it. But for like a 1 trophy like this, you could easily do it without having a fully traded Death Knight, that is for sure. But yeah, those kind of quick teams, they're mainly made to wipe out 1 trophies and 2 trophies. They're not really made for 3 trophies. You can try using them for such, but it normally fails. More so to the point that you probably don't even want to bother doing it anymore. Okay, well, take that, take that. Throw down a Hellcat on... Well, yellow's an extra turn, but we also have the brown, so we'll definitely do the brown then. Because obviously we don't want to do it on yellow. Go take the red, get herself a blue convert right there. Nice. Throw it on Hellcat on the green. Kind of get things going. Move that over. Go throw down a guard avatar. And go from there. We'll have a Hellcat available as well that we can go use for stuff. We'll go throw this on a green right there. Put that down. And Alchemist. What do we have as far as Alchemist related stuff? Nothing really. Blue? Oh, never mind. I say that. And like all the blues on the board form like the perfect format for that. And then we can just throw down brown, and that's match off the guard. There we go. Well, I think that was just a Justice team, too. Oh, there's your Justice team counter. Throw a guard at it. Apparently that works decently. Yasmir's chosen for you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, did you actually get one? Did you seriously just get Yasmin's chosen out of the gem key? That is absolutely insane if that's actually true. That'd be, I think, about the 13th report of it. I don't even know what it's up to. It's about anywhere from about 10 to 20 people have gotten Mythics over the years of us giving them out. Or at least people who have reported getting it. But yeah, that is really lucky if you end up getting off of just 1 gem key. Normally it takes upwards of like 500 gem keys to actually get one. Well, we'll go throw that down. Which means technically every single time we give out 2 gem keys, someone should get a Mythic. It's just people probably not reporting that they're actually getting it. Who knows? Better we're just getting unlucky. Let's see. What we'll go throw that down on green. Go throw down the Hellcats. Throw that down. And then we'll throw a guard. Let him just get skull distracted. Throw another Hellcat down. Or an alchemist. Doesn't really matter. Whatever we have alignment on works. Get an alchemist on the green there. And it's pretty much match. Or is that match? Do we need to do anything beforehand? Maybe to get his damage up a little bit more. Yeah, why not? Do we have a Hellcat? Yeah, we do. We'll go throw that down. I need just a little bit more damage somehow. Throw an alchemist on something. Get it on blue. Is that enough now? Hopefully. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Maryland. Yeah, congrats, Urtrix. That is really lucky. Oh, speaking of very lucky, Arcane Tristone! Yay. Let's see. Can I do a Carnex, Lady Ornarial, Green Seer, and Yasmin? Sure. You're hoping to use it for Purple Day, but haven't traded everything yet. I actually ended up making a Purple Day team too for it. I ended up going with... I'll go do yours too, to just go show it. But this is what I ended up doing for mine, if you maybe wanted to do that instead. We did it yesterday, if you wanted to see it in actual Guild Wars as well. We did 2 battles yesterday with it. Or did we do all 5? Actually, we might have done all 5 yesterday. I believe I posted it already. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, if you check the Guild War battle from yesterday, we ended up doing that. But it was this team. But I'll go do yours right after too. Let me go find if I can figure out where it is. It's that's not it. Where's my purple team? Rush Yellow. Somewhere's in here is the team we just did. I ended up naming it really weird, didn't I? Where did it go? I think we did a yellow-green banner. There it is, purple loop. There it is. Scion, Green Seer, Yasmin's Chosen, and Kraken is what we ended up rolling with. It was scoring about 7,500 per battle, though it did lose on the very first battle. I'm going to be using it again next week to see how it pans out. But yeah, let me go do the team that you want to go build, just so you can see how it works. So let's go get a Carnex in there. Put the Carnex in. And if there's anything else you guys want me to roll over, just let me know. Let me see where to go. Oh, is it worth spending gems when you're low level on Soulforge? No, you should never spend any gems on Soulforge ever. Even if you have like 100,000 gems, it isn't worth spending gems on it. There's not a single instance ever where it's actually worth spending gems on Soulforge. It doesn't matter how little or how many gems you have, it's not worth it. Basically, every battle you do is worth 3 gems prior to doing the Soulforge if you don't level it up. So you're basically getting free resources for not upgrading it. Green Seer and Yasmin. There we go. Okay. So, Carnex, Lady Ornarial, Green Seer, Yasmin. Seems pretty solid. Let's go roll with it. Banner choice, I'll probably go yellow something else. Probably yellow-purple, I'd assume, because of all of the purple on the team. And the yellow is for the purpose of getting Green Seer up quickly. So let's go throw this. Oh yeah, we actually have a bonus too because of the Forest of Thorn stuff. We have triple Forest of Thorn. So that's giving us 2 life, 2 armor, 1 attack. Not much, but it could be the difference between dying and not dying in some instances. So we'll go throw this down. And that's something that would actually be used in Guild Wars as well. So this will be a perfect example of how it would actually perform. So let's go see what it does. The dreaded drain spam. Okay, let's see how this goes. Well, right off the bat, we'll obviously take brown. What else? Let's see. Brown doesn't really give us that good of value, unfortunately, though. There's very little we actually gain from it. Keeps flashing, tempting us with its little thing right there. Trying to find a way that I can easily get additional purple. Well, we'll just go for that for now. Gotta be careful what he actually drains on us. We'll have to see next turn. Oh wait, never mind, he already drained us. As I'm not paying attention to screwing. Let's see, we'll go and throw down, oh, Scion, please stop. Maybe I should stop trying to get him up, but as we get an extra turn for him. It's like, yeah, let's stop getting him up, but we kind of had to. We weren't not going to go for the extra turn. We'll go for the skull, obviously. We can't, oh no, there was another skull at the bottom. Well, we can get our mana back again. Well, somehow we're back to kind of where we started there. And we did get lucky enough to get the extra turn there. We'll go probably throw down a Green Seer and get it looping from there. So our extra turn capability is red, apparently. The only problem with doing it on red is it's going to take away a lot of stuff on the board that I prefer to keep. We could try throwing this down. I think we might go for that, and we do indeed land it. Now we can just start throwing down Yasmins. As long as there's 15 or more, I'm probably going to throw it every time. Okay, how many now? 16? Still worth casting it. I'll move that over. 16 still. And that's match. Well, we got a really nice loop for it. Pretty sure it won't always work like that, but of course that is the whole premise of her, loop into just instantly winning. So, yep, pretty standard Yasmin right there. That worked pretty well. Let's go see if we can find another Guild War team to fight it against. There we go. There's the other Guild War team that gets used a lot, or other variants of it. Double Wisp, KrissTigger, Kraken. So if you can win against both of these, it's pretty good for Guild Wars. Oh, one thing to note about Impervious right now, though it will be fixed in the near future, because you said that you're planning on trading this team. Carnix, or just Impervious in general, currently does not have Devour or immune to Devour. It's supposed to, but there's a glitch currently in the version where right now on PC Mobile it does not have immune to Devour. So do keep that in mind if you're running it against like Cabarrus or something. That doesn't really get ran in Guild Wars that much anymore, but do keep it in mind, just as a warning. That will probably be fixed probably in the next week, I would assume. So that's not really something you'll have to worry about for a while, but as of this current moment in time, it is glitched. Okay. So this one we'll probably lose against, unless we can really get going, because every single green we miss with 2 is going to give him excessively good value. Anytime we miss with green or blue, it's going to give him a lot of value. The previous team, it didn't really give him much at all. We'll go move that down. Got our Carnex up. Not really much to aim the Carnex on, but it should give us the mana we need. There we go. Actually, give us all the mana we need. There we go. So let's go throw the Green Seer, trying to see if we can get it rolling. Actually, let me throw the Lady Arnerial. We don't really have much else to throw. So we got the blue right there. Really nice. She gets all of our mana right back. That we can then go utilize. What else do we need to go throw? There's a red extra turn right there. Can we take it for a... No, we can't. There's no... green extra turn other than on yellow. Actually, is it worth doing yellow? We kind of need the color, we kind of don't. Let me just take the red and throw Yasmin. We'll go off of that. So we get that down. Can we throw it again? Only 11. I prefer a little bit more than that. I guess we will go for the green this time and then go throw it down again. We could have gotten a leader in aerial there. Actually, I think we'll go for it now. And then we'll throw that down. That going again, throw it again. We finally missed. That could have been him getting a famine up. That's the biggest problem that I found yesterday. I'm pretty sure I'm never going to run this team against famine. In every other instance, I'll probably run it, but not a famine. If you end up giving the famine, like if you lose your board like this and you happen to give it like a 5 times or something, it's almost an instant lose. There's almost no way to recover from that kind of situation. So other than famine, I think this will work against pretty much everything. Same as pretty much any variant of kind of like Green Seer Yasmin in Guild Wars. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you wanted to trade it, it definitely works perfectly fine for Guild War Day. Just be really careful around Famine, and keep in mind that Impervious currently does not have immune to Devour, even though it's supposed to. Yeah, it definitely works decently. Let's see, where's our guard? Though it's probably a bad idea using... You know what, let's not use guard. Probably a really bad idea using him against... that kind of team. You know what, let's go throw a Tesla. I haven't been throwing Tesla much. But then again, she's in last slot too. Fail. I keep wanting to throw down teams that use a last slot as their main troop, which obviously is really bad against a Kraken that hits last slot. Okay. That is exactly why I didn't want to use a team like this. I saw that coming from a mile away. I just forgot that that team actually had something like that. Well, that didn't work. Though it doesn't help that I literally picked the exact same kind of team premise that I didn't want to use for that battle. That is exactly why I didn't want to do something like that. It's like the battle starts, then it devours us immediately. Seems about right. Seems about right. Okay, let's go and throw this on Brown right there. Actually, I could have just swiped it. I didn't even need to use that. I forgot, because we needed Brown, and that would have already gotten us the Brown that we kind of needed. Anyways, let's just throw the guard. Go throw a Hellcat, probably on green or something. He just ruined it for us. But now we have it on yellow, which isn't really a color we would want to do it on. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll still do it. If we can get the board going, it won't really matter. There we go. Got a card avatar. And we were able to replace out enough of the board that it shouldn't be too big of an impact on us. We'll go move that over. It does look like we won't be able to get the Alchemist, but it's not going to matter because we were able to get the Hellcat back up. And there's a match. Gonna be streaming another game today. Today... Probably not, because I'll be doing almost guaranteed the video going over Soulforge later today. We'll still be doing the Gems of War stream later tonight, but I'm not going to be streaming a different game today. And tomorrow we'll be doing Stardew Valley at our normal time from noon for a few hours. We're going to be marrying Abigail and doing all that kind of stuff. And our account's almost completed as far as our current account for Stardew Valley. I might take a small break. In a couple of weeks, we'll probably take a small break away from Stardew Valley and then start up Season 3 of Stardew Valley, most likely. And during that break, I'm probably going to focus a little bit more on the Let's Play account. We started it the other day. I haven't really bothered playing it at all, really, the past few days. Haven't really had the time to, with all the changes that they kept making. They did the patch, and then they did the new Mythic, and there's just been a lot of different things kind of to mess around with. Yeah, we haven't really had the time to go and go do that. Plus, there's so many guides videos I need to do for the current changes. But we will be starting that very soon. Well, technically, we already started it, but I'll be progressing on it more very soon. The Let's Play account. And we'll be starting that back up again. Season 3 of that. Throw down guard. Put that down. Throw down the Hellcats. And go from there. Can I please tell how you change the names of your team? Mine are Team 1, etc. Oh, you click the little button thingy that says team name or something. I'll go show exactly where it is in 1 second. I forget it, what exactly it's called. But if you go under your troops, you just go over to, you just go to any location where your troops are. So just go to troops or anywhere else. You click on one of the tabs. So let's say this was your Team 1. I think it's called Team 1 or whatever. You click the button that says rename team. It's right underneath your team. And then you name it whatever, click confirm, and then it renames it to whatever you typed in. That's how you change your name of your team. It's a little bit different than what it used to be in the past, but yeah, that's currently the format for changing your team name. It used to be a little bit different, which might be throwing you off if you were used to the previous format. I believe it was like somewhere all the way in the corner or something earlier. I don't remember what it was earlier, but it's definitely different now than what it was before, to say the least. Okay, so what to do here? We'll take the red. We get our browns. Take another red. Good. Throw down guard avatar. Yes, yes. And then we'll get an alchemist hopefully next turn. And if nothing else, maybe a mercy, or a mercy into an alchemist, or an alchemist into a mercy, or none of that because none of it has alignment. Fail. Okay, so we'll throw that there. Get a mercy hopefully. No, actually we still can't get the mercy, surprisingly. Can we get the Hellcat though? Yes, that we can do. We'll go throw that down. Get a nice little Hellcat. Solid Hellcats. And throw down the guard. And now we can mercy. And that's match. Throw the Hellcat into green. And he's dead off the cascade. And we get a map. Whoa, that was like a 10-11 cascade right there. That went crazy out of nowhere. I'll take it. Not like we really need the map, but better than nothing. Okay. If you're... Oh, thank you for the subscribe, Trevor Gibba. Much appreciated. Also, we're almost there. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers. We're what? Let me see. I can't actually see the live version right now. I think we're 51 away. Well, I can currently see on my thing. But yeah, we're 51 subscribers away from 6,000. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing for the 6,000 subscriber video. I've kind of made a tradition for every 1,000 to do a video. It's definitely going to be something 3.1 related. Specifically what, I do not know, but obviously it'll be 3.1 related, whatever we end up messing with for that video. If you cheese block has mold on it, can you cut away the mold and still eat it, or should you throw it away? I actually do not know. I'm not a specialist in ways of cheese. Personally, I would just throw it away, but that depends how big of a cheese block it actually was, or how expensive of a cheese it actually was. But normally with that kind of stuff, your health is better than worrying about that little bit of money that it costs you. So I would just probably throw it away. I'm not quite sure. I'm no specialist when it comes to cheese. The only cheese I really eat that's even remotely more expensive than a normal cheese is Gouda. I sometimes go for. Though all the Gouda by me is a really weird brand, smoked Gouda, that doesn't really taste that good. Well, smoked Gouda is normally the really good one, but all of them by me just taste, I don't know, weird. All the brands and everything. That's like the only kind of like fine cheese I ever buy. I don't even know if that you'd even consider that a fine cheese. It's probably like a really low tier fine cheese. I consider it fine cheese though. It's actually one of my favorite kind of foods, just to kind of munch on with like a cracker or something. I don't buy it that often. Well, mainly because it tastes horrible by me, the brands by me, but generally it's really good. That would like a pork roll sandwich or something with like the crackers with the thing on the side. Or if you get like a nice dip with the thing and you put the little cheese on top. A lot of little things you can do with it. Also, thank you, Rayam, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Well, where do we go? We'll throw that down on blue. How are you not a cheese specialist? You're the cheesiest. That's funny. Let's see. Well, we'll go throw down the guard. We'll go throw down on green. Go throw down the green. Get a guard. Let it get skulled. And just throw it down on brown. Get the blue, and that's dead. What tips can you give to build a team? Should you... oops, let's see. Where'd it go? I just scrolled and then it went away. What tips can you give to build a team? Should you go by color or region or warrior type? Generally, you go by color. The way that you should basically build a team is try covering every color and build it in the format of a tank, a mana generator, a damage source, and another damage source. Or build it in the format of a tank, a damage, a mana generator, and another damage. And you can also do a third format, which is a tank, double mana generator, and a damage source. Generally, you want to go with at least 2 damage sources, particularly earlier on there in the game. But mainly because your damage is so much lower earlier on. But you want to go with one of those kind of formats. The main reason for so is they just work better than almost every other format in the game. Like you can see with this one, we're kind of going triple mana generator. It's a little bit different than how you would normally build one, but you can bring it down as like a tank double mana generator kind of build with a gigantic damage source. Generally, you go for the double damage source build. The only reason I go for the one really big one is just because Guard's avatar is absolutely insane damage source that you can use, so it's really nice. But let me go and let's see, where do we move here? I guess we'll just take the brown over. We don't really have a good board to do anything off of. Let's see. Still no alignment on anything. Does not appear, unless we do it on yellow, which would be a really bad idea, but I think I'm going to go for it. Why not? Okay, at least give us Guard's avatar, and it gives us pretty much everything. Nice. So that did end up working out pretty well. We'll throw down the extra turns real quick. Go and throw down a guard. Get our damage, get our silences. And then one more little cast will go for the kill there. Alchemist on the blue. And what else do we need? Throw down a Mercy. Get the guard down. And that's match. How would a double famine, double death work? Can you see it? It's really horrible these days. Mainly because famine and death have gotten nerfed over the last few patches. So the team is relatively bad. It used to be really amazing. But nowadays, it's not worth using. But I can go show it real quick. It's even worse now that you can't use Death for his 2x skull damage either. I can go show it. Let me go show it on a slightly easier battle. Actually, we'll throw it on Revenge. Actually, let me go clear my Revenge real quick, then we'll go show it. I need to go get the extra resources from our Revenge, and then we'll go do it on a normal battle. Alright, well, first things first. Let's go get a Mercy. Okay, no Mercy. Still no Mercy. Figures. Double no Mercy. Show no mercy at all. Which is actually bad, because we need the Mercy to get alignment. Okay. Well, now we have the Hellcat. We can throw down brown or something. I wish blue was available as well. It's not, but I'll take it. We'll work with what we can get. We'll move that over. Get our extra turn. Mercy potential as well. We'll go through that on blue. I'll give us our mana. Throw a Hellcat on green. Go from there. And what else do we need to go do? We'll throw down the Mercy just to clear out the board a bit, so he doesn't take some of that stuff from us later. What else do we need to do? Throw guard, get another guard down, and we'll be good to go. Hopefully he will not hit it too much. We can just actually convert that out. Probably should have done that on brown right there, but it's not going to matter. Should be enough damage to kill it out, and down it goes. Oh yeah, doing all dragon teams is a lot of fun. What is the best dragon PvP team? 100% all dragon or partial dragon? There's a partial dragon team that I tend to run quite a bit. You can make it pretty much the same thing out of all dragons by putting Dragonian Monk on it. But it's this team right here. A few different variants of it. Oh, he's actually almost using it right now. That's kind of funny. He's using one of the 3 variants. That's kind of funny you ask for a dragon team as soon as he's doing one of the dragon teams. There's several variants. You can go Gorgolfa, KrissTigger, Dragonsoul, KrissTigger. You can go KrissTigger, Dragonsoul, KrissTigger, Sylvanie Mora. And you can go Dragonian Monk, KrissTigger, Dragonsoul, Sylvanie Mora. Or Dragonian Monk, KrissTigger, Dragonsoul, another KrissTigger. Any of those 5-ish? I have no clue how many I just said. But any of those kind of standard teams. Basically, the troops you build it around are KrissTigger or multiple KrissTigers, Sylvanie Mora, Dragonsoul, and Dragonian Monk. Basically, building teams out of all those dragons are the best you can possibly build. One other thing to note is early game version of many dragon teams end up putting a Dragotar onto the team. This is mainly because it's just a really, really nice ratio as far as what he does. And it works particularly well earlier on in the game. You can use it for a later game as well. It's just there's much better options. Assuming you had like literally every dragon to use in the game, Dragotar actually does not get used in dragon teams. But when you're earlier on in the game, he's actually the strongest low rarity dragon in the game and works really good in all dragon teams. So he's definitely a really viable option. But you replace him out for other options later on in the game, like Sylvanie Mora and stuff, once you actually have a fully traded one. We'll go through that down, get down the green, and then just throw the Dragon Soul. And of course, this one that I'm using right now isn't a full dragon team. We're using Gorgolfa. You can use Dragonian Monk instead. Of course, Gorgolfa, the reason that's used is just for the mana generation and everything. It's also a little bit more consistent against things because of the extra skull mitigation. Could you do your team, or could I do your team? Sure, what was your team, Maximuse? I didn't end up seeing it. Sorry about that. Where'd it go? Trying to look for it right now. Could you repost it real quick? Let's see. Answer is you must call it off. Oh, wait, never mind. At least an interest though. Oh, that was for the cheese thing. Hello, GZ. Welcome. You just now started to play with the Gems of War. Can you give you some tips? Well, general tips. I will be doing some videos soon going over all this too, because we'll be starting our Let's Play series back up again, and that will probably be going over a lot of these. But a couple things to mention. Go under your settings. Go turn this on immediately. Not that. This one right here. The one that says show spell and mana details. Make sure that is checked. This will show the mana for literally every troop in the game. It's really, really convenient. No clue why it's not the default, but you should pretty much immediately turn it on. It's the thing that makes these numbers show up everywhere. That's really helpful. Other than that, try keeping an eye out for an Alchemist or a Valkyrie. They're the 2 lowest rarity converters that you're probably going to get. If you base an entire team around either one of those 2 troops, you're pretty much good to go for a while. They're both really solid. Really any of the troops that say transform a select mana color to X color and then gain a bunch of gold. Any of them that are select, specifically any color, are really good. These troops are Alchemist, Valkyrie, Hellcat, Green Seer, Giant Spider, and I missed one of them. There's another one. But there's 6 of them. All 6 of them are amazingly good to build an entire team around. So keep that in mind. Other than that, make sure you focus on 3 things, or a few things. You want to mainly be doing the following. You want to be doing Arena. You want to be doing Treasure Hunt. You want to be doing PvP. And you want to be doing these quests and these quests only. The entirety of Broken Spire, the entirety of Blighted Lands, and the entirety of Drifting Sands. This unlocks Arena for Broken Spire, Plus, you pretty much just do it during the tutorial anyways. Plus, it's the easiest kingdom. You do it for Blighted Lands for the Soul Forge. So you can level up Soul Forge and access the crafting system and start leveling this free. Because you don't start getting any free levels on it until you actually unlock it. And Drifting Sands, you do it for the daily dungeoning system. So yeah, those are the 3 biggest things you should really be prioritizing, that and the 3 game modes I mentioned: Treasure Hunt, Arena, and PvP. You should be trying to do as little quests and as little challenges as possible, mainly because their value earlier on in the game is really, really poor. Particularly gaining EXP in general is actually a bad thing when you're first starting out in the game. That might seem a little weird, but it's mainly just has to do with how matchmaking and stuff works, where having too high of a level can actually penalize you relative to if you're not gaining as much resources. Because it doesn't matter how many resources you gain, you don't really get based on your match too much on your resources. You get like a team score thing that kind of matches you based on your resources, but for the most part, one of the big factors when you're first starting out in the game is it bases it more on your level than it really bases it on your actual capability as far as like your team or anything. So do keep that in mind. Keeping a low level, if possible, is actually pretty decent. Once you hit about level 100, it starts to not really matter as much. But when you're first starting off, like your first 100 levels, it can make a pretty big difference. Well, let's go throw down a alchemist. Go throw down blues. Treasure Hunt, by the way, is the best way to keep your level low. You gain literally no EXP and essentially gain infinite resources from the game mode. If you had enough time, obviously. It's not actually infinite, but you know, it's you can farm it forever while gaining 0 EXP. It's kind of nice in that regard. Where did we move? I guess we'll just move that over. Let him get skull distracted. Trying to clear out the board, though. There we go. We can just throw that guard right there. And we do have an alchemist, unfortunately on the purple, but we got to take it, and down it goes. Oh yeah, what was your team, Maximuse? I'll go do it when you post it. Oh, there it is. Your team is Trant, Swamplash, Sylvanie Mora, Greenseer, Talon Banner. Sure, we'll go with that. Generally, you don't use Greenseer in the last slot, but we'll go mess around with it. Let's see. Let me go get the team going. Here's the slot for it. Go do it right there. And what do we need again? We need... hello, Breemeister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Your team was Swamplash. Let me go get all that in. Swamp. Oops, if I can type. I almost just typed in Dwarf, and now I just typed in Swarp, or whatever that is. I don't even know. Swamplash. Boom. Trant. Boom. Oops, I can't even type Trant. Good job. Trant. Boom. What else we need? Savasi. Wait, Savasi? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Well, that was... Generally, you always use Savasi in first slot. There really isn't any other slot you use them in. And Greenseer. I'm not quite sure what you're going for with this team. This also only does double and not triple. But we'll see what we can do. And you end up saying for the Talon Banner, I believe is the +2 green +1 yellow. Or never mind, the +2 yellow +1 green. The inverse of that. Also, you're doing a -1 on one that you already have. I guess you're not focusing on the Trant as much. But your Trant ends up denying the color that you need for the other damage source you have, which is your brown thing. You saw in the forum, wanted to see how it works. I don't think it works. It's not even Green Day. For a second, I thought this was like a pure Green Day, but it's actually not even that either. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this team is for. But we'll try it. See what we can do with it. Go move that over. Give him a little bit of brown. He's probably going to start doubling green soon, which won't necessarily be a bad thing, because us having more green on the board is beneficial. As long as he's not going too crazy with it, it's fine. Where do we move? I need an extra turn on something, so we'll go do this on brown. Go from there. What's this? A blue to purple, right? Yeah, no, purple to blue. I mean, blue to purple. Yeah, I was right the first time. So we'll go deny out his attack, just to get that off. What else? What else? Well, I guess we could start hitting Famine. We definitely want to go and kill him, that's for sure. So we'll throw it a little poke. We'll go and throw this on the yellow right there. We do have this second cast that we can go throw on him, which I think we'll go do. That should be enough to kill. So now we don't have to deal with that. We're entangled right now, so I'm not going to throw my attack buff. Yeah, I was just about to. We would if we weren't entangled, but we are entangled, so we'll wait. We'll go move that down. and go from there. So what now? Still can't remove it. We'll just take a green, I guess, or something. We'll take the green into purple. Start getting green syrup or something. So he devours us. Luckily he was entangled, or yeah, he should have been entangled. Do we bother going for him? Well, we can no longer gain entangles on anything else, so I guess we'll just go for him. Get that little initial entangle going down. And good, he did not devour that time. I have no clue why Wozzy's in third slot, though. He's literally only ever used in first slot. There isn't a single other slot you can ever put him in. It just doesn't work anywhere else, ever. Second on very, 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 very few teams could he be used on. But generally, if you're bothering to put a Wozzy on your team, you're going to be putting it in first slot, not in anything else. Well, we'll go and get our extra turn, even though we don't get the attack out of it. We need to just do that to get some board progression. Go take the green. Take the skull does nothing. Yeah, we're just going to lose. Oh, is the code used up? We'll have another one soonish. Yeah, and we already just lost. Yeah, I have no clue what that team is for at all. Seems like almost as a bunch of random troops put onto a team, for the most part, in random locations. The only thing about in the right location is the Trent. But Trent doesn't really get used much these days. Compared to other options, there just isn't need to. Any need to. Where's guard? God, we need you. Hello, Simon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so starting board. What do we need to do here? Soonish TM. Yeah, we'll probably do it in let's see. Yeah, we'll probably do it in about 30 minutes because we'll probably end about another 30 after that, for the most part. Unless there's anything else you guys want me to mess around with. We messed with the defend team, we messed with the other teams. There isn't anything too much that we need to really mess around with out of the new patch. There are a couple of videos I'll be going over. Most of the stuff I have explained in streams, but I'll be going in a little bit greater detail. And of course as an actual video instead of just spread out across the entire stream. But yeah, we will be having select videos going over all that stuff soon. The next one we'll be doing is over SoulForge. Like what to use, how to use, what's actually efficient to make, and everything like that. Then we'll sometime next week probably. On Monday we're probably going to be going over the guild tasks change, as well as of course just the new event video. And then hopefully sometime next week I'll be able to do a dungeoning video. Actually, that might be the if I can start going on my Let's Play, that could be maybe the video we could do for the 6,000 subscriber, because about then we would probably hit the 6,000 subscriber mark. I can do the video on how to win dungeons with very little options. Like if you're a newer player just starting within like the last week or two, how to actually win the new dungeon system, because it is relatively hard for a brand new player to defeat them. For veteran players who have like almost everything or literally everything, it's ridiculously easy. But for a newer player, it's relatively hard actually. Well, we'll go throw it down on green. Go through that on blue. We lose our turn, of course. Also, we have almost no armor to even use on guard once we get it up. Gonna be a close battle. It's actually gonna be relatively close. Let's see. I'll do that on purple. We lose our turn. Oh no, we don't actually, because we're not frozen on that. Sweet. Okay, that's good. We're not frozen on red. Only yellow are we frozen. So we'll throw down the guard right here. I need a skull, but there's none available. Oh, never mind. Oh, I say that and there was one available, but we still got the same kill, so it doesn't even matter. And that's match. There we go. Well, that one's a little shaky, but the big slick, that was what it was. Let's see, we're almost at 12,000. I think leaderboard's 21,000. Yeah, it's almost there. It's gonna be about 23, 24 by the end of the week. Eventually, I'll be trying for the leaderboard again. I just haven't really bothered really much lately. Esley is on our thing. Wait, Esley, why does that name seem so familiar? I know it from somewheres. Is that the leader of Matchmatchers? Yeah, it probably is, because it is in Matchmatchers. That would make sense. That would explain why that one is so familiar. Would explain it. Okay. So, do we have mercy? Yeah, we kind of. Kind of. Not really. I think I'll still throw it though. Yeah, I'll throw it still. We'll get that down. What else? What else? We'll go and take the red and no. We'll take the blue actually. Drop it that way. There we go. Do we have alignment on this? Yes, we do. We'll throw that on the green. And pretty much good to go. Hellcats we throw on the brown. Get a guard avatar off now. Actually, I probably shouldn't have even thrown that Hellcat right there. That wasn't really that needed. We'll just let him get a skull distract. Let him get himself on that. Put down the guard. Go from there. Okay. Hellcats, not really that needed. Mercy, we'll go throw on the blue. And say a map, I'll take it. Okay. Then we can just go throw a red somewhere. Actually, let's just go. Oh no, I should have taken that skull. Well, it's not too big a deal, but now we can just kill it with the Hellcat. There we go. How about Farce Troll, Sea Troll, Plague? I don't. It would technically work. It would be very, very, very slow though. Very, 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 very slow. We could go try it real quick. Maybe we'll get lucky enough that it hits what we need it to hit, but it will be slow. Let's see. Also, Plague versus Plague. Let's see what happens. Let's see. What do I need? I need double Plague. I actually have 6 Plagues. And never mind, I have 8 Plagues. Can I exchange my Plagues for not Plague? Seriously. Plague. Anyways, that's not actually what we're going to be running. That would be the most idiotic thing to do ever. 4 Plagues! No. we could do it. It would be really bad, though. I think 4 Peasants would be better than 4 Plagues, to be honest. Once we get really lucky with extra turns. It's just going to be such a handicap, particularly if we're up against, like, Famine or something. Anyways, let's go run, what was I about to go do? I'm going to go do the, where is it? I'm looking for, Farce Troll and the other troll. Let me just type in troll. There we go. I'm like typing in nothing. It's like, where is it? There it is. Okay, so put all that in. Let's go get a blue green in there, I guess. We can do basically any combination of +1/+1. I'm doing this because those are 2 colors that we actually end up directly creating from it. So we'll go with that. Yeah, swapping out almost anything from this team for anything else would make it go quicker. Like double Kraken, double Christine X, double anything that's not Plague. It would still work. It's just it is glacial upon glacially slow. I'll go move that over. Go double the blue. If we even get to do anything. Oh, if he gets his Plague before we get to do anything. He already hit one of our Plagues. Yeah, we'd lost already. That was quick. That didn't take long. But yeah, it's not really going to ever work that well. It is a very, very, very slow team. And we would have been there for several years with that magic reduction we just got. Which is why I immediately left, because I was basically losing. Technically, we could have possibly won. That battle would have taken about 20 minutes, though. And would have gone nowheres and done almost nothing. I highly advise almost never using Plague. And if you do, use it on your defend team. Don't use it on your invade team. There's no point in using it for invade. It is way too slow compared to every other option in the entire game to ever use for invasion. The only reason it works for defending is it has impervious, and it can stat reduce the enemy in a way that it disables them, that you'll be able to win. The biggest issue is, of course, using it for invade is it just takes forever. Particularly if you don't use it with other damage sources. If you're using it as your only damage source, the battle will at minimum take like 5 minutes. That's like the quickest battle you'll ever get with it. I'll go take the purple. Go throw down a Hellcat somewhere. See if we can get it on like red. There we go, perfect. Red extra turn will be fine. Let's see. Mercy? I'll throw Mercy. Get a nice Mercy down. Get yourself a Hellcat. See what else we can do. What to do? I'm thinking about doing the convert there. because we kind of have the guard, but we still don't have full mana on everything. So we can push up to full mana and then go from there. There's a lot of blue just sitting there that I kind of just want to get rid of. So we will go for that. We'll do that. We'll clear out the board a little bit, just make sure there's no extra turns left. And then we'll throw down the guard. Is that good? Actually, that's a pretty nice looking board right there for the follow-up. We'll just go do that. And what else do we need to go do from here? Probably throw a Hellcat down. Do that on the nice little green section. Then we have the purple one if we need another. In case he Dragon Souls, which he doesn't. Or in case he revives, I mean. Type @TheNasirator to get his attention. Yes, that does normally get my attention. What question did you ask? Also, make sure you put a question mark in your question. If you ask a question mark or if you ask a question and don't put a question mark, it's a lot harder for me to see it. Because that's one of the things I'm looking for. Let's see. Could you show an ellcarjen team without an Infernus, please? Okay. You'd have to basically just do the same team, just with Yrel instead. That's basically all you do. It's still the same premise. You need something that does burn. You can also do a Dragon Demonstraxia version of it. There is an all-Dragon version that you technically can get away with. Let's actually go to the all-Dragon version. I don't normally show it that often, but it's this team. It's KrissTigger. Mainly because the all-Dragon version isn't as good, but it is all dragons, and it is it doesn't use a Infernus. Let me see, where's Dragon Soul? Dragon Soul. What else do we need? Dragon Soul, Demonstraxia, and ellcarjen. Okay, so we'll throw that. Get herself a clear out that. Get herself. Why am I trying to change the banner there? Change it to standard Dragon Soul banner, and we'll go from there. I'm not too worried about the -1 yellow on the thing, mainly because he's not really a focus of getting our mana. Or getting him casted. The main thing I need him for is just to burn. Once the enemy team is burned, we don't even need Demonstraxia at all. We deliberately leave him at full mana once we get the burn, mainly because he'll block the reds a little bit more if we don't, or as long as we don't cast him. He gets to stay at full mana, and the red will just leak into the next one. So, starting board. We'll want to take reds and purples pretty much every single turn. Start getting Dragon Soul rolling. We can take KrissTigger occasionally. We really want to try getting the purple as early as possible so we can start getting the crystallized going. Just to let that do its thing. We'll take another purple. Where's purples for ellcarjen and all the standard kind of stuff. Let's see. We'll need to go and take that up real quick. Get that out the way. Throw a nice little Dragon Soul. And go from there. Let's see. Is that a good enough board to ellcarjen on? No. Not to mention we still don't even have the thing yet. So we'll go and let him do his little thing. Let's see. Do we go for the burn now? Yeah, we'll just go for the burn. That will clean up a kill. I forgot to take the brown right there. It's not too big a deal as long as he doesn't kill. And 2 HP. Barely. Very barely. Unfortunately, we do not have enough on the board to really be able to do much. We could try for an extra turn maybe on something. Maybe do it on a green. Oh, that's actually extra turn. No, it's not. That one green ruined it for extra turn. Fail. Could have been an extra turn, but he ruined it. But we'll go through ellcarjen. We only have the one burn. It didn't really end up doing much. But yeah, that's ellcarjen with no... Oops, he's not dead yet. But that is ellcarjen with no Infernus. You just use Demonstraxia instead. Or a fully traded Yrel. But with Demonstraxia, you don't even need any traits on him. He's the cheapest thing that you can do that synergizes amazingly with ellcarjen. And that's the all-Dragon variant. Not really one I bother using much anymore, or really at all. It's something I kind of was messing with initially with it. It's okay. It's just not the best possible option with it. It works, though. And it's the best all-Dragon team I'm aware of that uses a ellcarjen within the team. Very rarely does ellcarjen actually get used with all dragons, mainly because he's a really clunky high mana cost, and he needs a burn. And the only really viable burn is Demonstraxia. He's relatively weak. Even after his buff, he's pretty weak still. So it's one of the main reasons he doesn't really get ran with all dragons. If they added another really good burner who wasn't just Shegra or something, or Demonstraxia, it'd probably work out. Because you don't really bother using Shegra with it either, because you don't want to deny out the red. You also, they both have the same colors, so you're not really covering any additional color by doing that. If anything, you're kind of just blocking ellcarjen and making it so it can't cast, which of course is a handicap that you don't really want to do in a team like that where you're supposed to loop with an ellcarjen. to mess around with anything else, or show, or help you build team, or anything like that, feel free to leave them all in chats. Also, we'll give out, actually, let's go give out the other redeem code right after this battle. Might as well. Let's see. What do we even do right now? I want to try getting the mana. Let me just take the yellow then, and then do this on the red. Do we have a Mercy able to do anything? Not really. Not really. So we'll go take the red right there. Let him just go take the skull or whatever he wants to go do. We'll go take the red into green. No, we did not get the extra turn. We'll throw down the guard. Get that nice little poke. Mercy, don't really need to throw anywheres. Blue. Alchemist. We'll go Alchemist to green, kind of little shape right there. And then we can just move that and then throw down a Hellcat on like blue or something. We'll throw that down. Get ourselves a guard down somewhere. Oops. Do we Alchemist it? You know what? I'm actually gonna Alchemist it. So we got that down. Move that over. Save our Hellcat, or throw the Hellcat. Why not? It's on purple, but we're gonna get a lot of damage out of it. Really good value. And then we can just throw this into Hellcat into win, essentially. So he'll get Skull distracted next turn. Let that happen. And then we could just Hellcat. There we go. Okay. So, it has to do with my USB thing, apparently. Okay, I found the issue. I don't know how long it will last the way I have it now. Hopefully it will last. There is a weird thing that sometimes bugs out the current slot I have it in right now. But apparently the issue I have is my USB thing is just broken. It doesn't want to work. I could try putting something else there, but my USB 2 slot all the way to the right is not wanting to work. I have 2 of them over there. Neither of them were working with it. This is a USB 2 mic, by the way. I have it in a USB 3 hole right now. I don't know if that will be too big of an issue. I know it glitches out sometimes. Is the audio fine right now? Is it running fine for everyone? Like, is it any different? Like, right now, the audio you hear now compared to before? But yeah, as long as it's fine and doesn't disconnect, it should be fine now. But yeah, I have a USB 2 mic and a USB 3 slot, so it could be a little buggy here and there. We'll see. Anyways, that's fixed now, hopefully. Okay, everything sounds fine. Well, that's good then. But yeah, my USB 2 slot is dead. Both of them, apparently. So that's bad. That's not too big a deal. We're getting a new computer soon anyways, but I do have a USB 2 and a USB 3 adapter thingy. But if both the USB 2 slots are dead, then all I have are USB 3 slots, which isn't too big a deal. But sometimes some things don't really work that well in USB 3 slots. You don't hear the game, just me? Oh, I think the game audio is just so low that that's the case. The game audio is on. I just have it really low right now. Now you'd probably hear it like crazy loud. Yeah, I just have it a little bit lower. It's the reason why you probably don't hear it as much. Some people say for me to make it louder, and then when I make it louder, people say to make it lower. And then when I do the middle ground, people still say to make it one way or the other. So I've never really found a way to get a middle ground. I generally just keep the game audio a little bit lower instead of higher. Unless you don't hear it absolutely at all, in which case that would be your problem. Okay. Let's go throw down Hellcat. Throw down Browns there. Well, go throw it on guard. A nice little poke. Throw down the Alchemist on, I guess, the red. Unless we get another opening somewhere. So, there we go. Or we can get Hellcat and throw it on a new option.
I need a 4th for my dragon team. Any suggestions? Right now I have KrissTigger, Dragon Soul, and Shadow Dragon. Great stream.
Thank you, Trusty. Also, you don't have to donate for me to answer your question. I know I might be accidentally missing, like, some of your guys' questions. But, yeah, you don't have to donate for me to answer you. But thank you for that. Much appreciated. But anyways, yes, for your thing. You said, 4th dragon for your team. You're running right now. KrissTigger, Dragon Soul, Shadow Dragon. Really nice combo. You would need the first trait on Shadow Dragon. Preferably fully traded KrissTigger. Dragon Soul traits isn't too relevant in that particular team. As far as the 4th slot that you would run, let's see, what color are you missing? I believe you just run Sylvania Mora on that kind of team, is generally what I've done in the past. If you don't have Sylvania Mora, there's the cheap option of just going Dragotar. So either of the two would be perfectly sufficient for that team. It would cover the rest of the colors that you need, and it would help out your team. In the case of Sylvania Mora, it would give you a nice Entangle to counter out Scion and stuff like that. In the case of Dragotar, it would just give you a nice stat boost. Ideally, you would want a Sylvania Mora, but if you don't have that, Dragotar is perfectly fine. It's a lot cheaper and definitely something that you have and would be able to slot there for sure. Is Deep Boar, Bombop, Black Manacles more time efficient doing 1 to 2 than just doing regular PvP teams on 3? Probably. Pretty much every meta thing is to do 2 or 1 trophies. You can even tell by the guy who's all the way in first right now. It's given all the changes, particularly in this patch as well, it's just more time efficient if you were truly trying to go really, really high just to do 1 and 2 trophies. The only problem with constantly doing 1 and 2 trophies is they're a lot easier. So from an entertainment standpoint, I don't know, they'd be a lot more kind of like instantly wiped than what you would normally do for a team. But yeah, something like that would be pretty decent. We were running this earlier on the stream and it was going pretty quick. It's still one of the quickest possible wins in PvP rounds these days. There are some things that go a bit quicker, but as far as like spamming it out, it is one of my favorite kind of teams. It's been one of them that I kind of came to here and there. When it first came out, it was something I absolutely loved and used like crazy. Oh, I did not mean to put it on higher difficulty. Wait, how is it even on higher difficulty? Am I on casual right now? Why am I on casual? Great. What? How did I get into casual? Anyways, take my 1 trophy. How did I get over to casual? Oh, we'll go into this, go throw down something. We'll go and, what do we need to do right now? We need to go and, well, we don't have any good drops. We can, if I take the brown into the purple, he ends up taking the 5 times purple, so that's a bad idea. We'll just go for the other mana, let him do whatever. Well then. I was not expecting that. Assassin getting a kill on his very first poke on a 10% chance. I was not expecting that. Not that many people run Assassin these days. Wow. That was not something I was, yeah, wow. Okay, anyways. Well then, well then. Okay, so, but yeah, this is super quick, obviously. Let's see, as I'm doing nothing. What do we even need to do here? Probably should just take a move. It doesn't even matter if we really think it out. It's just gonna die in like 2 shots. Just throw the Deep Boar, and down it goes. Simple, straightforward, easy. Yeah, if we truly wanted to go like super crazy on our rating, this is all we'd have to do. 1 and 2 trophies and take the, or 1 trophies constantly and take the 2 trophies when it's slightly easier of a battle. Well, we'll go back to 3. Particularly when they're revenges. Gotta get those nice revenge in. Get our extra gold and stuff. First player on PS4 has 700 losses, does he? Wow, that's a lot of losses. Some people do that because they'll go a really risky team that wins quickly. I've done that some weeks. That's the main reason why some people really high on the leaderboard have a lot of losses. They're just doing a high risk, high reward kind of team. It's a team that goes ultra quick. There's quite a few of them that do that. That go extremely quick, but they have a high risk of losing. Probably one of the most used ones right now that does something similar to that is the Sacrifice team. Using a Death Knight class in last slot with a Sacrifice in second to last slot with 2 other troops. Generally with Elspeth Crimson Bad is the combination used, though there are several different options that can be used for that purpose. But teams like that go super, extremely, superbly quick. They can win in as little as like 30 seconds sometimes. It's really nice. It's just their win rate is really abysmal these days. I think it's even somewhere around like 50%. Last I checked, though I haven't actually checked it extensively, this particular version of the game. So I'm not 100% sure, but I know before on the previous version when they did the gem spawn change, it dropped from like a 75% win rate, 80% win rate, down to almost 50%, probably even a little lower. Not quite sure what it's at now. We could test it a little bit later. We were messing with it earlier on the stream. I don't know what its actual win rate would be right now, though. It also depends how many lower trophies you take. Like, if you were to constantly throw it on 3 trophies, it would definitely yield a very high lose rate. But if you were to throw it on exclusively only 1 or 2 trophies, it would have upwards probably of 80% still. Well, where do we throw the Hellcat? I guess we'll just throw it on the green, get the board kind of moving around just so we can start getting that rolling. And now we can throw the guard into almost the win. Never mind, it is the win. Not almost the win, it is the win. Code. Oh yeah, sorry, code. I got distracted by the mic shutting down. So yeah, let me go do the code. Sorry. We got distracted by the mic failure. Let's see. Do I have any code that is relevant to a mic failure? Unfortunately, we don't have any mic failure codes. Normally because that's the first time that has actually ever happened. Hopefully that doesn't happen during a recording. Oh, that will be so ridiculously annoying if that happens when I'm recording later. Particularly if it's something that can only be recorded once and then it fails. In which case I'll probably still upload it. Because there'd be no way to do it again. That or I could audio after the fact and just post-edit it. That could actually work. If the audio doesn't make some kind of shrieking noise, I could just... Well, then again, I could probably just edit and mute that section. Anyways, which one should we go do? Which one? We have a bunch of code. Let's go with stream stuff, because that's kind of relevant. Mic failing. First world stream stuff problems. Anyways, let me go and put this in. Let me go get the slot for that. If I can find out where on earth that is. Let's see. Redeem code. In you go. Go put that in. Get the redeem code going. Go and copy paste that. Stream stuff. There we go. Put that over. Boom. I just think that's centered enough. There we go. Let's do it that. Oh no! Well, no. There. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going, word? There we go. Now it's fixed. Okay. So keep that there. Now let me go get the other thing for you guys. The actual link and everything. Where you actually use the code. So we'll go put that in, copy that, and go put that over there. Boom. There you guys go. Didn't we already use that? Stream stuff? I don't know if you guys already use stream stuff. We're about to find out. She does replenish some of the same codes, though, over again. So that could be a code that she has done in the past, but now she's going to do it again. Let me go double check it. We'll put in our invite code, put in the code, say that we're not a robot, and what does it say? Does it work? Yeah, it works. So if we did it again, she replenished it, apparently. So yeah, it's working. I put it in and it worked. So also for the invite code, you get the invite code under your settings underneath here, and then whatever your game says there is what you put in, and that's the invite code that you use. And let's go claim our thing. It also only works for PC mobile, unfortunately. So do keep that in mind as well. But yeah, gives us the normal reward of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Let's see what we get from the gem key. Someone ended up getting lucky enough to get the Mythic from it earlier. Highly doubt that would happen again. Yay, Evernick. But that'd be amazing if someone does get it the second time around as well. Gets the new Mythic from it. It is possible. It's like a 1 in very low chance. It's about a 1 in a 500 chance, approximately, that you would end up getting it from that specific key. Maybe a little bit lower than that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's the last code for today, but we give out 2 every Friday and Saturday during our 10 a.m. stream when we do that, and we give out 1 on Monday night when we do our 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream. And that's generally all the times we give redeem codes. Occasionally we'll give an extra one here or there between special occasions and stuff. Like, I believe we gave a bunch when the patch actually came out. We gave a bunch on Thursday, just because we were doing a stream for that day as well, because the new patches came out and all that. But if it's a special occasion, we'll normally give something as well. Also, thank you, Salty, if you ever see her. She's the dev that normally gives us the codes these days. Before it was Nimhane, now it's Salty every single time. She's the one that does them now. She's the current community manager for the game. Well, we'll go and take that down. Throw down, we'll move that over. Throw down the Hellcats on green, I guess. Put that down. And get ourselves an alchemist. Work off of that. Go from there. So we do have a guard. Go move that. Get the blue into yellow, just so he doesn't take it. And we'll go move that up. And then we can just guard and go from there. Okay. What do we need to do? Do we have a mercy? No, we do not. Do we have anything that we can do off this cast? Not really. Let's go do it on blue just for some value and then go from there. Okay. So we get a Hellcat. We'll get that down. Then we can go throw mercy. Actually, we don't even need to throw the mercy yet. We'll just throw that down. And that's pretty much match. We can just go and... Oops, I should have used mercy there. I guess it doesn't matter though. We dies to the random skull. So perfectly fine. And there we go. Okay. Code key, Clockwork Knight. Ah, yeah. One interesting thing about Clockwork Knight, though, even though he's a horrible troop, if I'm not mistaken, Clockwork Knight is the only troop in the entire game that when you use him on your team, he shows every color. He just shows every color. Like if I go get a Clockwork Knight real quick and go do it over top this Bombot team. Oh, that's funny. He's using Bombot when we're using Bombot Rush. He's using Bombot Rush 2, an early game version of it. But still, nonetheless, he's using it. Let me go use the Clockwork guy real quick just to show what exactly. Do we overplace Troglodyte? I guess it doesn't really matter what we do here. You know what? Let's actually use the other one. This one over here. Just put it like, right there. Okay, so this obviously isn't a viable team. I'm just showing it real quick. But when Clockwork gets full mana, he actually shows every single color in the game. I don't believe any other troop does this. I wish every single one that was like a kind of like more like a KrissTigger style of troop actually showed all their manas. For some reason, only Clockwork shows every color from what I'm aware of. There might be another one that doesn't get used that much that also does it, but I believe he's the only one. Let's go get his mana up real quick and then I can show him. Well, we're a little bit off on mana. I think the Bombot will almost be enough to do it. I'm a little bit afraid that he's going to kill, though, so let me go take the mana first. Don't you dare Bombot us. Okay. Oh, wait, we didn't get enough mana. There we go. But right here, if you see over here, as you can see, we can see every single color and how many are on the board. If I'm not mistaken, for whatever reason, Clockwork Knight is the only troop in the game that does this. Maybe that's a deliberate feature that they did. That seems like a really odd troop for them to give it to. I feel like almost every troop that has like a KrissTigger style or any kind of thing where they can choose any color, pretty much every troop that does that should be showing. There's probably skulls as well. Actually, I wouldn't mind literally every troop showing this constantly. That'd be perfectly fine. I would not be against that if this tab over here always showed all 7 of them. That would be perfectly fine. But yeah, Clockwork Knight's the only one that I am aware of that actually does that. Any viable brown team with Leshy for guild versus guild or for Wisp team? Usable, yes. Viable, no. I would not really say that would be something I would advise using for guild versus guild, even for the context of countering out a Leshy. The main reason being is generally if you're doing that, you're trying to use a really big green troop. But given that it's a brown day and you're already using a pure brown, you would only be able to really put one green troop onto your team, so you wouldn't be able to utilize it as much as you would be able to in something like PvP. If you were to do something like that, you'd probably have to go the new Mythic and do something like that. So if you don't have the new Mythic, I wouldn't even bother trying to use a Leshy for that purpose. For the most part, I honestly say just don't even bother. Even if you did have that Mythic, it's not going to be worth it trying to put a Leshy in your team just for that purpose. Maybe in PvP occasionally you can get away with it. For Guild Wars, no. The best thing to do for Guild Wars is just rush it down quick enough. If you see they have a bunch of Wisps, just make sure you don't have single target. Go with a bunch of multi-target. Go with things that hit the first 2 slots. Go with anything that you can do to disable the Wisp as quickly as possible, and then just go from there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just way too big of a liability on your team having a Leshy. You can still try it. You could go like Leshy, something, and the new Mythic that just came out on Friday would be an okay team. I don't know. I just feel like you're committing too much to trying to counter out them. It just needs to get nerfed. That's the main thing. That really just needs to happen with it. Once it gets adjusted, it's not going to be as bad. But in its current state, it's just a little annoying, of course. Too bad there isn't a troop that lowers your attack. Like, not an actual entangle, but like lowers your attack and gives you like magic instead would be cool. There's a troop that lowers your magic and gives you attack, but there's no troop that lowers your attack and gives you magic. Innkeeper lowers your magic by 1 and gives you a decent amount of attack value. Not an excessively good troop. He's basically useless. But he does do that. If they made like a legendary version of something that lowered your attack almost to 0, or literally to 0, but instead gave you a bunch of magic and other stats, that would actually be a really cool, decent troop. Not sure if they're ever going to actually do that, but that would be a nice troop concept, that is for sure. And it would help a lot against Wisp and other things that might come up in the future. Though, Charm isn't really something that's ever that good. So, the only reason why Charm seems so powerful right now is just because Wisp is amazing. But if you look at every single charming option in the game, Wisp is pretty much the only one that exists, because every other version of Charm just isn't that viable on the troops that they're on and just the other abilities that they get used with. So yeah, it's basically only just that one troop, unfortunately. Let's see, what can we do here? I guess we throw down on, well, we'll just move that over, I guess. Go and throw down a guard, make sure the board is fully cleared, go throw that down. Also, anyone just getting here, make sure to throw the redeem code below, or go use that. It is, we just posted it recently, so it should still be active. So make sure to go and use that for sure. You got a Thorn Knight, but your new account, so that is your first one. Thorn Knights, that is a okay Entangle when you're first starting out. Entangle is actually really, really strong in early game. The main reason being that a lot of teams earlier on get built into skull-oriented kind of variants. And of course, if you can entangle, then you won't have to worry about the skulls. The main reason for this is the game kind of biases a lot of people to start doing that. Mainly because of Luther is the epic that you get from completing out the first kingdom. So people see that as their first epic and it's like, oh, I'll go use them in a team because he's a higher rarity than everything else I have. But then they'll use them in a team and they basically just make an entire team based around skulls. So getting Entangle earlier on in the game is actually really effective. The earlier you get it, the better, which is actually low-key makes Leshy really, really strong early on in the game. Not because he's particularly just strong and early on in the game, but just because he happens to counter Luther that a lot of people are just going to happen to use. But also because he has the that nice Entangle that kind of goes and just disables everything. And he does it for such a cheap amount. He's only a common, so everyone won't be able to get him and stuff like that. It's really nice. Well, we'll go through that down. It's kind of funny, though. Leshy, even though a lot of people don't really use them that much, he's basically the strongest troop in the most recent Kingdom of Urskea. Console will be getting him in a couple days, by the way. If any of you are wondering on console, like, what on earth am I talking about? But he's one of the few troops that came in with Urskea. There was 8 troops that came in with it. Almost all of them are relevant, other than Leshy and King Mikhail are about the only 2 relevant ones. The King Mikhail's the legend. Of course, the legend's going to be relevant. The legend's almost always relevant in any kingdom. And the other one's Leshy, which is, even though it's the common in the kingdom, it's surprisingly useful, particularly for a common. It is a really good utility for a common. Generally, they don't have as huge of a utility. They're normally, I don't know. There's a few commons that are kind of okay. There's that, there's White, there's Rockworm occasionally. Rockworm's not as good anymore, but still very situationally, like in Guild War, I'm not Guild Wars, in Arena and stuff, it can still be usable. It's still something if I see in an arena draft I would definitely pick up just because it has a lot of potential to do infinite damage occasionally relative to other things in Guild Wars. It's one of the only troops that even create its own, I'm not Guild Wars, sorry, I keep saying Guild Wars. In Arena, out of every troop in Arena, it's one of only several that can actually create its own color effectively. There are a few others, but I believe they have 11 mana cost, like those lizard things, but those aren't normally viable. They're too clunky in a team to really use for Arena. I keep calling it Guild Wars. Let's see. We'll go through down guard. Make sure we take every extra turn, though, before we do. Make sure that's all cleared. Go take the skull. Get a nice little poke. Take that. Let's see. What else? What else? Do your team? Sure. What was your team? Mercy, Alchemist, Hellcat, Clockwork. Sure. I'm not quite sure if Clockwork works correctly still. I know it had a glitch earlier that made it almost useless. I forget if it still has that glitch. I assume they would have fixed it by now. Though it's not really a troop that anyone bothers using, so maybe they didn't. It could have been just one that they completely forgot about. Who knows? But let's go throw down the Mercy right there. Get a nice little bit of mana going. Throw down the Hellcat on the brown right there. That going as well. Throw down the brown for the brown. I mean the green, yellow. Colors, how do they work? The yellow onto the brown converts. I mean the brown to yellow. Whatever. The brown was made into yellow gems is the bottom line of what just happened. Commentary. Great commentary. I will eventually learn the 6 basic colors. Also, I find it funny, I'm using a red t-shirt now on the brown day. I said I was going to wear the right color for every single day, but I don't have a brown shirt. They didn't actually have a brown one. I will be going back. They should have more stock. Wow, we keep getting a lot of defend wins as of recently. It's still not at 50%, but it's at least doing decent. Anyways, let me go do JCG's team, since you have asked. Glitch doesn't matter when he shows 6 colors. Well, yeah, I guess that is a factor. That is a factor. Okay, so let's go over suggested team, get rid of our bomb bot thingy. We already have clockwork, so that's one less thing we have to go and get. Go get ourselves a Hellcat. And what else do we need to go do? Get our Hellcat, go get the, let's see, Hellcat, apply filter. Go get that. What else do we need? Mercy, Alchemist, and what was the other thing we needed? The Alchemist Hellcat loop into... where's the last one? Wait, what's your actual damage? You don't have any damage on the team other than Hellcat. Do you really expect me to win an entire battle out of just Hellcat? I have to put something on there. I'm gonna put Guard's Avatar. We need something for damage. I can't not use damage. The battle will take forever. And then we'll just throw a double yellow banner if I can figure out where on earth it is. Double yellow, come out. Wherever you are. There it is. Okay, I hope when they said that they were going to be eventually changing some of the format with how to search for stuff. Banner better be switched to a much better format when they do that. Because it is so annoying trying to find a banner when you're trying to get it. Okay, where do we throw this? Do we not have an extra turn option? I was going to do it on green, but it's not an extra turn anymore. Still going to go for it though. Because now we can get a nice Hellcat off and just get the loop going. There we go, we got our Guard's Avatar. Now we just need to get the yellow in so we can go get the thingy. So now we can see what every single color is on the board. Not like it's too relevant though, because we only use like 3 or so. But, oh well. That was slightly my fault for changing the team, but I wasn't not going to use a damage source. You can't use 0 damage sources on your team. That never works. Or technically it would work, but it would just take forever. Oh, I forgot to take red. Speaking about taking forever. Well, let's go convert this thing. Transform a random gem color to yellow. Go. Oh, there we go. It actually landed. Let's see if we can keep him going. See how many times in a row we can actually cast him. Oh, never mind. We didn't get enough mana. You're blocking. Yep, so we accidentally won. No! No, that's OP now. No. That's funny. What? I wasn't not going to run a damage source. That's illegal. No, but we weren't going to not run damage. Okay. Anyways, anything else you guys want me to mess around with, just let me know. Or if you guys need help with any teams or have any questions about the new patch, the new Mythic, or anything in general, feel free to leave them. Let's see. What else? I was about to go check. I was about to go check something. Oh yeah, I was about to check the Guild War thing. I'm curious what our ranking's currently at. No, we're down back to 10. We did have one of our people who came back though. We still have 2 people down though. The one that left on had to leave earlier during the week due to connection issues and stuff. And the other one was just someone who hasn't played yet this week for whatever reason. So that was what the other one is from. Yeah, we're a little bit short this week as far as our score because of that. What is Leshy? Oh, Leshy is this guy. Anyone on console doesn't have him. It's this little guy right here. That thing. It's a common from Urskea that entangles everything, including allies, and then destroys all green gems. Keep in mind the specific word of destroy, because that does mean you accumulate mana for every single one of the green gems. So if you're destroying 12 greens off the board, you just accumulated 12 mana out of his cast. Generally, you cast his ability whenever there is at least 8 or more green, because then you basically convert all of your brown mana into green, essentially, in a way. You could look at it that way. But, yeah, he's okay, troop. He's definitely not over the top. He has some really, really weird utility purposes that no other troop can even do, though. Because, as weird as it may seem, entangling your allies can actually be a positive status effect, even though it's a negative status effect. There are very, very weird instances where occasionally it is positive to put a negative on your team. There's another instance where that's actually also positive. If you're running a any troop that triggers a trait when it takes HP damage, it is actually beneficial to poison your allies. There's currently nothing that can specifically poison all allies, but whenever something like that gets added, it is going to have a lot of purposes. I'm not quite sure what they're going to add it to, or when they're going to add it, or if they're ever going to add it, but it will be very, very powerful. It's the most beneficial negative stats effect that you can ever add to yourself is poison, because poison's so weak. You know a stats effect is way too weak when putting it on every single one of your troops would actually be a positive effect. But yeah, poison is awful. Well, let's go get rid of yellow, I guess. That'll give us a guard avatar. That's pretty much team wipe. Pretty close to it. If he wouldn't revive, it would be. Well, we converted out the yellow. Now let's get rid of the red the other way around. And of course now we can't do Hellcat because we kind of just got rid of that potential. Don't even have a mercy. Oh yeah, we do. Never mind, I keep him back up. And now we can guard it. Never mind, that's not enough damage. Oh well, we can just skull it. And down he goes. Wait, what is the best PvP team for just spam the hardest PvP? What we're using right now. So no, there's a lot of options. Personally, what I'm using right now is actually what I'm prefer. Quite a few people have been running this as well, and very similar kind of guards avatar teams. Other than that, assuming you don't have a guards avatar, you can run a web spinner infinite loop team. You can run an Grim infinite loop team. You can run the new what's it called? The new the new Mythic that just came out yesterday. You can run that in an infinite loop team. Basically anything that infinitely loops. You can run Dragon Soul KrissTigger in any kind of variant. Probably a Gorgolfa Dragon Soul KrissTigger variant would be best. Something along those lines is generally what it gets used with. Yeah, anything along those lines are pretty decent, pretty solid. Some of the quickest things in the game right now. You can also just run Bombot spam and stuff on lower trophies, or you can run the sacrifice spam on the lower trophies. The team for the sacrifice spam is basically Crimson Bat or anything that does a lot of damage, plus Elspeth. Then you run with a sacrifice, and then a Death Knight class fully traded in the last slot. You can also just go double sacrifice. We were messing with that earlier, and it was actually doing just as fine as if we would have done a Death. Wouldn't work against higher trophies, but it would still work for all other purposes. Okay, well, we'll go take that down. That does take away some of our mercy potential, but we already have a mercy alignment, so it's not going to be as big of a deal. We actually got a really good board here in which we do not need to take any extra turns. That might seem weird that that is a good board, that we can't take any extra turns, but one thing that can slow this team down a lot is, wow, we're actually getting a really good board right now, is getting too many extra turns really slows down this team, but we got really, really lucky there. Wow. We got no extra turns getting in our way, and we got all the mana exactly as we need. That's about as perfect as that team can go. Wow. That was one of the smoothest battles I ever had with that team. I'll take it. Too bad it doesn't always do that. But that is one really weird thing about this game. If you're looking from purely from a speed aspect, it is actually bad to gain a lot of extra turns. Mainly because you're going to be just wasting your time. Like, if you have a team that's too mana oriented, that's gaining a lot of turn, but you're not actually able to finally do your cast, you're going to be limited a lot. It's one of the reasons why what's it called? What's the other team? The team that's related to any kind of loop, like any kind of infinite loop team that places a gem onto the board. One of the other reasons why they're kind of somewhat good right now is you don't have to waste their turn in order to do them. You can just keep perpetually casting them without having to go and worry about swiping off the extra turns. For example, with a Guard's Avatar, one slightly bad thing about it, even though it has ridiculously good damage, is you do have to make sure the board is cleared from all the extra turn waste, because if you don't, he loses his turn. Like right here, for example, we can't just cast a Guard's Avatar. We have to go and take every single extra turn off the board, or else it will just go to the enemy. And that takes up a lot of time, particularly if it gives us like 5 or 6 in a row, which in some cases would be amazing. But in the case of a team like this, it's actually really bad if that happens. Well, maybe not really bad, but you know, it wastes time, essentially, is the bottom line. Well, we'll go and... What do we throw down? We'll go throw this on brown, I guess. Get another guard. Throw that down, go from there. Good to go. What level do you have to be for lower trophy PvP to be worthwhile? Any level. I don't even think there's really a level range. I think it comes down to a what do you actually have to use range. Really, doing 1 trophies is pretty much always viable. As a newer player, you almost have to do 1 and 2 trophies constantly, because your 3 trophies generally are really, really hard, actually, if you're trying to run it as a newer player. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Because sometimes your 3 trophies will be like a level 1000 when you're like a level 100. That is possible. Why there's that big of a disparity, I do not know. But they should definitely tweak that in the future. That is for sure. What to move? Oh, extra turn right there. I almost didn't take it that way. I was going to take it a different way, which would have given us a lot of mana, but it wouldn't have given us that extra turn. Okay, so, what do we throw? I think we could just go straight into the guard's avatar, it looks like. In which case we will. So, yeah, we will go for that. Cast that down. There a little bit of poke damage. No Mercy we can cast. Hellcat. Do we have alignment on Hellcat? Am I missing it here? Do not actually see it. Blue, no. Purple, no. Do we really not have alignment right now? Oh, we have brown. I didn't see that there because the other little thing was blocking the little bottom there. Aha! So, we can go do that. Go do that on blue. And then we can just throw a guard at it as well. That down. Then we can go Hellcat, and we'll be good to go from there. Hellcat into a guard, and that's match. Throw that. Throw down a... Ooh. Yeah, we can do it on blue. We'll just throw that down. And that's match. Anyways, guys, I think I am going to be heading off for now. We will be back later tonight at 6.5 hours from now. We will be doing the Guild War battles and, you know, just messing with that. I think it's a brown day today, so we're probably going to be running something along the lines of a Gorgoltha Corvash related team. I don't believe I'll be using the new Mythic this time around because it doesn't really work this well on this kind of day. Any teams for the 2 of the new Mythic? Wait, any teams for 2 of the new Mythic? Yes, you would probably go along the lines of Goblin, what's his name? Farce Troll, Green Seer, double of the new Mythic is basically what you would run for that team. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. We will be doing the video soon for what you should be crafting and going over the crafting system in great detail. Pretty much every aspect of the new patch will be going over in great detail. We'll just take a little while to get each one of those videos done. But we will be hopefully covering that later today. If not today, it will definitely be up sometime tomorrow. And we'll be doing Guild Wars. We'll be back for that at 8 p.m. later tonight. Also, we will have the Stardew Valley stream tomorrow starting at noon. And we'll have that. Anyways, thank you all so much for coming down. Much appreciated. We streamed 3 days in a row for several hours. Normally I don't do that, but basically we just took the normal time that we do a stream and kind of just split it among 3 days instead of 2. So, was quite a bit of fun. Have, for the most part, liked the new patch. I wish I had more content that could actually perpetually be done instead of just like over time kind of stuff. But we'll be going over it, messing with things, and kind of just reviewing it in the near future. As I said, next part is doing the dungeoning thing. Anyways, thank you for coming down. Much appreciated. Hope to see you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and goodbye.